Recording has started.
Path.
Fuck, Cameron.
Thank you, JP, for filling in.
Last session, you had quite a bit happen, especially towards the end there. With what ascending the overlook tree, finding a strange child, and then figuring out that there was a clearing nearby, of which you have been told or instructed that that is very likely where those druids are hanging out. Time counts down. It is up to you to figure out how you want to spend these precious few days you have left. Who you can cure, who you can save, and, well, really, what's important to you here. Your priorities may have shifted, but you still have a little bit of time to talk things over with each other. Truthfully, I don't remember how far we got after you met the girl, so I don't even remember if you told the rest of the party that shit's weird now. I know out of character everybody's informed and on board.
I
don't know how much
told
that
Rabbit,
in-character.
but yes, I would forward all that information about how she's bleeding and it creates werewolf's bane or wolf's bane, whatever the fuck it's called. Crackpot theory that this has to do with menstrual cycle and she's about to have it for the first time, blah 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 blah. Werewolf's around, she's got some creepy fae bullshit that's taking care of her. She's in a silver cage to protect her from the werewolves, blah 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 blah.
I feel like you could have thrown yada 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 in the middle of that.
Yeah, that's bad writing.
Bad writing, blah 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 blah.
Fuck, he's good. Can he do that?
Yeah. Yeah, I thought we... Yeah, I couldn't remember if that's where we ended up or if we ended up in the morning. So I'll just take note of that and inform whoever's on the next shift, and we can talk about... Cam's on the next shift, and then the morning, and I'll mention it to Cam, just, you know, Jaromir found someone up there that might give us some good information, so just, we'll talk about it in the morning, but keep your ear out for anything coming from above us.
Salute.
Nothing much happens the rest of the evening, as, once again, the forest is eerily quiet, especially from this vantage point. You get a good view of the stars, like I mentioned, and Jaromir managed to spot successfully the grove where everybody is from. So really, it is just a matter of discussing your plan of action in character, and perhaps a little bit in character of going back and forth on what do you want to do about this girl and how she plays into this hostage situation. So, the sun comes up, and you guys are recharged.
Woo. No one else is happy about being recharged, huh?
I can't remember, was it counting down or counting up? I think it was counting down.
We have...
20 hours, I thought. Or 20 movements.
Yes. Yep.
So yeah, you'll be at 1, and when you get down to 1, it'll be 0, and then you'll hit 0 energy of 0, and you'll have a fight.
Yeah, that's right.
So you have 20 tiles to move left before showtime.
As we're all gathering and figuring things out in the morning, I would bring up and mention we may, with this new information, we may not be able to get back to the Rangers and their area there. So I think we need to try and go full gun-ho here. Let's check that grove out that's nearby. That's probably a good starting point for what we need to do, and then use sneaking to potentially get the cure to others while we distract them and such. But I think we check out the grove and go from there. I think we for certain are stuck doing this ourselves over the next 2 days, so we need to do what we can, and
I think the creeping deadline would definitely make my character like start to get kind of anxious. The things going too well during the rock rescue have I said that right? Why does that not sound right to me right now?
Oh, the
Oh,
rock
I'm not even at roll 20. I'm sorry. I'm just staring at my fucking character sheet. That's why I can't remember names. But it would kind of is a blessing, but I think the way that I would like to RP it moving forward is that, you know, having that stuff like be a threat, like failure, it would start to, like really mess with me. Is what I'm trying to say. I can't think right
Yeah.
now. I'm sorry. I'm very sleep deprived. But yeah. So I think the creeping deadline would make me like start to get kind of anxious and like try to push to go and do stuff. Yeah, LaRock. I'm not an idiot. Damn, T-Bav, I can't believe you couldn't remember his name. But yeah, so that's where I'm at with my alarm's going off. I'm sorry. That's where I'm at right now.
yeah, that sounds fair. I think the Grove is the first thing to check out, and we can push into seeing the cages and doing some scouting there to see what we need to do next.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, I think we just head to the Grove. Maybe, Jeremy, if you want to sneak ahead a little, or just since we're trying to just maybe talk our way through things, maybe sneaking's not the best option.
Yeah, I'll just stick with the party for now.
Cool. Let's all just head to the Grove then.
Okay. Using Yarmir's vision from last night, and again how obvious it was from above, it doesn't take you long to pick up the trail. You guys are all proficient in tracking. I could have you guys roll it 3 times, but I don't think it's useful. And so, you find yourselves at last on a useful trail rather than wandering and stumbling into strange, peculiar artifacts. It's clear that this game trail is still very much used, even though, as you had indicated by how dead the forest is, that really shouldn't be a thing. And so as you continue on, you move with awareness, looking around for any signs of trouble or any signs of, well, traps. As you continue to move forward for 1 mile, and as I mentioned, continuing to scout and we look for this grove, and then your 2nd mile, wherein you find yourself in the middle of a very obvious clearing. Looking around, there is not a tree in sight for about 60 or 70 feet in a radius, so 150 feet across the entire clearing from where you're standing before another tree. And the way in front of you seems to be covered in a thick layer of roots and, well, low bramble. Definitely the work of something unlike the rest of this forest. Something that would be uncomfortable and slowing to work through, but something that, while it may leave you as a sitting duck while you move through it, you think you would need to scour to try to figure out any entrances that may be to this place.
I think we just need to scout and go through here. I don't think we can just take whatever risk there is.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
You guys begin wading through the bramble. It hurts, but not a lot. Not enough to do damage, that is. But, it's uncomfortable and snags and snares, as you are all taking your turns looking around, before the brilliant idea would occur to the bunny, and not necessarily Zach, it seems, to just go over the bramble using his fun ability every so often.
Works for me.
Ow, ow, ow. If only there was a better way. Wait a second.
Yeah, if only it could stop this. Oh, wait! Every, 20 seconds I go through it nimbly and then just look around and, just kind of okay, The morning has stepped off me.
Yeah,
I know I can do that now. Let's go.
Yeah, as you guys speed around and using all 4 of you and some extra abilities on top of it, you can avoid the typical 1-hour search time that it would take for a single solo stealther to find this.
Yay.
Boo! No,
Sneak mission.
stealth mission. It's fucking
Quick, mute him.
JP's time.
Yeah, Yarmir just crouches and just slowly shuffles through the bramble for the next hour, looking for an entrance. The rest of you just like, is he done yet? Have we found it?
He's channeling his best Carlos Hatchcock.
That's the sniper.
Yeah, Josh knows. I thought T-Pav would react too.
He shat himself.
A lot.
T-Pav's been hard AFK.
No, I haven't.
I heard him giggle a second ago, I thought.
He didn't even do camera earlier.
Yeah, I know, it's fucked up.
Yeah, I figured the staying silent would hurt you more.
Yeah, fuck you.
Yeah, JP shits himself while searching for good luck.
I'm gonna call him White Feather. Or Brown Pants, whichever.
Yes, as you guys scour around, not paying too much attention to being sneaky. I mean, you're not like tramping around and like shouting at each other, but you know, you are definitely using all of your efforts combined to get this found out. Before, after not too long, the bunny notices on one of the patches of bramble he landed in that some of it seems to be a little bit too thick or dark. As you get closer to it and see that there is indeed a kind of suspicious buildup over a very small hole that you could probably slip down. You don't know if the big boy would be able to slip down easily. Maybe he could, but it would definitely be less comfortable for him. But there definitely seems to be just a, you know, small kind of circle in the bramble that leads down to God knows where, down into this hole.
I'll make sure to call this out, so I'm not just going down this myself. Get everyone over, and I have no problem leading the way in this regards, and I'll let the the rhino decide if he wants to play guard up here, wait for our call, or what. But
Yeah, I'm not gonna chance it. I'm gonna hang back and let you guys proceed.
Yeah, as the rest of the party encroaches on, the rhino gets with an eye shot of it and decides to strategically guard the entrance.
Good.
As Yaromir, Quaylen, and Raynor hang out at the entrance to the hole, wide enough for one person to go, one at a time, and with a steep chute descending somewhere into the dark. You're not sure if you need to throw a torch down there at this point, or if that would be too loud, or, you know, rather too obvious.
I'll take a torch with me and head down. I don't follow him, but I'll lead the way at least.
All right, anybody wants to follow?
I think I'll go.
I'll follow.
As you guys go down the steep dirt path. This path eventually subsides into something more narrow, but would definitely be a little bit of a challenge to get out quickly, especially with bramble at the rim where you enter. And upon entering this cave, it's musty and earthy, although with the scent of something not quite rotten, but something that is not fresh. You know, it's a scent of something having lived here.
Could survival something tell, or it's just
Yes, but we need to get the other two on the map.
I'm coming.
Getting myself to the map. Oh, they changed the icons. Interesting.
Yeah, I just saw
Yeah.
that.
When I was looking for Laraka, I was like, what the fuck is the paint thing?
Yeah.
Let me get to...
Who are we missing? T-Pav?
He's not coming down.
T-Pav's out
It's
in
not-
the entrance.
I don't think I could fit, right?
I think having someone watch our back is fine.
You can fit. It would be very uncomfortable and very difficult to make any sort of exit in a timely manner with you. So,
I will say, Josh, I'm just gonna hide at the entrance. I'm gonna be stealth, so I'm not just like
Does he have stealth?
help me out.
Yes.
Yeah. What do you mean?
What a
Just a
fucking
ramble,
character.
just a rhino in a knee-high bramble field, sneaking, blending in.
pretending to be a rock.
Cameron, don't you remember you came to find me at the stables, and I can auto succeed outside of your ability to detect.
Yeah, it's
Because
just
of
like you're a
adventure.
rhino, bro.
You got something against rhinos, Cameron? Do you ever see a rhino hunting?
That's a great point.
Hunting, hiding from others is perfectly
It's a
acceptable.
Tauren joke.
I see. Over my head.
Yeah, shorty. Ha 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 ha.
Not an auto 15, but I still get 21. So
And that 22 is my survival.
Isn't the Tauren joke like you ever see a Tauren hunting the trout or something? It's like a Tauren can't be rogues joke, which is no longer funny now that they let Tauren be rogues.
Yes, and also yes. I do remember something like that.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Torn rogues are sick though. Something about it just feels right. Just not in my D&D campaign. Big cow people in World of Warcraft can be sneaky characters.
I like it.
They're like Minotaur people.
Gotcha.
Trying to look for decent music, and I don't know if I have any, so we will use this instead.
The yakety sax.
Can't go wrong with that yucky sex.
Damp, strange, kind of almost fetid smell. And earthy. As you look around with a torch, providing you 30-foot aura of visibility, I believe. Without low light. Only Zach can see the fun aura, so I'm throwing it out the edge of his vision for where he can't see.
Cool. Thank you.
I was wondering what was going on.
As you see, off in the way, a cavern going to the left and a further one going northern. Or rather, up. And as you're looking around and smelling, you can tell that the strange scent is coming more strongly from your left than up ahead.
Okay.
And that scent reminds you of something living or something more, more specifically, something that has been wounded.
Uh-oh.
So
The smell
I
of rust and dried blood.
So I'll pop to the just around the corner, since around the corner here, to look over down that way.
You look over into the next room to your side and see what appears to be a place that they would have used to injure people. This
Okay, yeah. I'll just pop in just to make sure that there's nothing else found in this manner that's necessary, and I'll...
Yep, and looking around, it seems that there is indeed a table with a couple of blunt instruments and a few sharp ones, and some blood splatters here and there. The weapons that they have seem to be kind of eclectic, a grab bag, so it doesn't seem like they would have been weapons that they had on them previously. Maybe they got them from the people they were doing this to. But you can see strong evidence that there have been some wounds here. Once again, you can do your whole forensics thing if you want to learn more. I believe you did something similar when you were investigating the manor.
You said icon?
I don't know who did the investigating for forensics previously.
Well, I have the
Blood,
medicine
blood,
check, right?
blood was JP, I think.
All right. Yeah, so
I
I
can't
think
remember.
butchery might be. Yeah, JP's butchery is probably the more adequate one for bloodstain analysis.
Oh,
You're
okay.
good at healing people, not necessarily the CSI.
Okay.
So JP, if you Yarmir is there, if you would like to investigate more closely these bloodstains and implements to try to recreate what could have happened using your butchery / skinning skill.
Can you guys hear me?
Now I can.
Yep.
Alright, I was DCing, but I'm back now, I guess.
How dare
So,
you?
butchery, I mean, what is the
It's your
calculation?
skinning skill. So it'd be +6 if you took skinning, right? Skinning leatherworking.
Yes.
Yeah. As Yarmir approaches the table and investigates more closely the implements and the scene. Various blunt instruments and a lot of pools and splatters. The splatters are big droplets of blood, which indicates blunt damage. So whatever all this blood came from was likely from something getting cracked and then bleeding from that in low velocity. It's not like a sword slash where there's drips of blood like on the wall or something. This indeed kind of unfortunately lines up with the idea that you were told by the survivor, that they were hobbling people, more trying to maim rather than to kill outright.
Yeesh.
Which is fucked up.
That is
Yeah. It definitely moved my mindset here from let's see what we can cure in here to this is probably we're gonna kill some people in here.
Yeah, who these druids are gonna fucking get it, bro.
Yeah. So let's start heading down the rest of the hall.
You can tell that at least they were precise strikes, done by someone who knows kind of what's up with these weapons, and also that the amount of blood is not sufficient to kill someone. So perhaps they have a healer, or perhaps they have, like I mentioned, a skillful person who could aim to wound like that.
Yeah.
As you continue to scour ahead, holding the torch and trying to reveal.
Where's easiest for you? If you want to reveal as I walk, or just reveal a little at a time, and when we get to something interesting, we'll put my character 30 feet from it.
Okay, as you come up further, you can see what appears to be another fork. One going left and one going right. And the scent of blood is trailing behind you as you move forward. Are the rest of you staying in the torchlight, I'm assuming?
I'm just gonna be right next to Quaylen the whole time.
Anything else you want to investigate over here, Yarmir, after your investigation revealed...
I mean, we'll go look at this table, see if there's anything interesting over there.
Yep, as you look over the table, it looks like this was a place for one of them to sit, or perhaps to prepare instruments. There's a small dagger on the table, as well as what appears to be a book of some kind.
Oh, okay. I'll never mind. I gotta wait for him to tell me, actually.
Last.
What was that, Yarmir?
I would touch the book, but I'd go back to the others and say there appears to be some sort of book.
And I know a guy, so I would go and investigate the book.
Yeah, I'll wait. I'll wait here just in case someone comes down, but go do your thing there.
Okay, you go back to the book, and in, distant torchlight, you can't really read by this light, by the torch. But you can indeed confirm it is a small book. Doesn't look like a volume as much as it looks like a journal, perhaps, or a diary. And like I said, you can't even confirm the contents right now, considering the low light you're in. But just paging through pretty quickly, you can tell that it is written in a language that you are not terribly familiar in, for one, which is unfortunate, and that it's only about a quarter full. There are a handful of diagrams in it. The writing is fairly neat, And you can't make heads or tails of the diagrams without some, well, understanding of the writing. The writing is in Elvish, which could mean it's with the cultist, but I mean it's also, with these forest elves. And by Elvish, I mean it looks like it's in the Dark Elves Elvish. Not Dark Elves, sorry. The Far Elves Elvish. You can definitely tell, like, the shape of the alphabet is Elvish, but you can't even pick out hardly much meaning, which probably means it's their version of it. Maybe it belongs to one of the elves, or maybe it belongs to one of the cultists. Who knows at this point? Given the eclectic range of weapons they had on hand, this could have just as easily came from somebody in here. Nevertheless, you pocket the journal, I'm assuming?
Yes, I would like to tuck it into my bag.
Alright, before you guys go back to the bunny side, where you see a fork in the road. One going left and one going right.
Yeah, I'll kind of come up and go like 10 feet down each side to see if there's anything of note.
Okay, as you go down the left one,
Yeah.
as the first one you go to, it doesn't take long to see yourself in the midst of some shelves. And as you're looking more closely at what's going on here, you can tell that these appear to be, well, absolutely littered with crates and dusty things. And you're not sure what's going on here for a moment until your eyes adjust and you see other ways. Down to a nook down there.
Oh, there are people.
As there are three humans, that is, sitting down who look towards your torch and don't cry out towards you, but one of them would kind of point in your direction. And start gesticulating after he's got your attention.
Do you want to lead on this, Quaylen, or
Either or. No.
I'll follow your lead for now,
Okay,
and
yeah.
then if it's something that's more in my character's subject range, then I'll
Yeah.
take over. But
Yeah,
my character looks to you as a leader, so
yeah. I'll just take a step forward, and if they're not doing anything hostile, I'll say hello. And I want to look to see if they're injured at all.
Yeah, one of them, the one that's on the far end that noticed you first, that had started gesticulating in your direction after he pointed at you, would seem to freeze for a moment before gesticulating more frantically towards you.
Oh, we need to stop.
If only there was a skill to try to figure out what somebody is attempting to say non-verbally.
It's not sense motive, is it?
Yes, it's sense motive.
Oh, well.
That would be you, Cameron.
We got a real Sherlock Holmes over
Do
here.
I see him? Yeah, I guess I would. I'm right now. Let me check my sense motive.
I think it's +5.
Yeah, mine's just +5. D20 plus 5. 14.
Yeah, the pause for a minute and, try to investigate what he's saying or doing is an automatic reply from you at that point, where Zach calls out hello and then he stops and starts again. You know well enough to, like you did out of character, warn the bunny to stop so you can take stock of the situation. As he continues to gesture towards you, mostly around his own face and then towards you. And do you get the gist that he is trying to communicate something with you about, well, either ears or mouth or eyes or some kind of sensory thing? But your roll is not good enough to put it quite together. You're not sure if he's telling you to be quiet or to, like, keep an eye out behind you or to, like, keep your ears open or something.
My immediate reaction is something about the torch. It got his attention, and now he's like...
Are the other two just sitting there watching this happen? Are they unconscious?
The other two are looking over in your direction, but they haven't moved from their spot, which could indicate, like you said, you think they could be injured, but, like, they haven't, like, all clambered towards the front of their cell.
Huh.
I'll
Oh, they're in a cell. Okay, that's what that wooden paneling is.
Oh, okay, yeah. That explains. I will point backwards, like down here, up, like kind of backing around, or point up this way and see if one of them is like he's like expressing greatly something or other in one of those directions. Like when I'm pointing, like, hey, should I go that way or go like, or even mentioning that, like, should I go this way, like that way? Just mention, seeing if like that helps him express anything.
Yeah, as you make a motion like that, as if you're going to leave the room, he would definitely start trying to get you to stop. I mean, it doesn't take a genius to figure that out. So perhaps he wants you to free him, which would be understandable. Also, where is Jaromir at during all of this?
I would be lurking near them.
Yeah, I think you staying stealth and kind of walk back
Yeah,
is...
yeah, I agree. I'm not getting involved, but I'm shadowing.
Yeah. Okay.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
I get involved.
There's a reference here that I'm not understanding.
It's family
I'm sure
Guy.
it's funny, though. Oh,
It's
yes.
only Dietrich probably knows.
So
I get involved with lady.
I'm just gonna take I'm gonna give him kind of like a hold, stay there, like put my hand out motion, and just take a step up this way to get a better viewpoint of what's up and around over here.
Yeah, he still seems to be looking at you intently, but he's not gesturing after you basically gave him, give me a second motion and started moving deeper into the room. As you look further ahead and unfortunately have your view obscured by these various shelves, which are filled with crates, which do indeed block your line of sight.
I'll just motion to Cameron that I'm just gonna slowly make my way this way.
Works for me.
And I'll just take it kind of one step, one hex at a time.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna,
I'll leave it to you if you're coming
Yeah.
close, or if you want to stay back.
I'm gonna match step, but I'm gonna signal to Jaromir to not go beyond that point. 2 hexes to the northwest of himself.
So here.
Honestly, even sitting at that fork is better, because then you get to see the other side, but...
That's not how line of sight works.
I just mean, like, if something starts walking
No,
down...
I was talking about whatever
this way?
you did with the bunny.
Yeah.
There you go. These shelves make it nerve-wracking because you're worried that you could be snuck
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, I'll take a step over here. Is that a person with an actual bow aimed at me?
Nope, these people are disarmed. This is just to make it clear what they are from
Okay.
a glance. As there's another person sitting down. All these people seem to be sitting down, you've noticed as well.
I assume their legs are fucked
Yeah,
up.
probably with their legs.
They're slobs.
Who is looking in your direction and, once again, just staring at you, not saying a word. Nobody here has said a word yet to you.
Yeah. I'll take a step forward to see around the corner.
Seeing in an individual cage, somebody who you can identify by the cloak he is wearing, the same kind that has been from, the encampment you just came from. That looks to be a ranger's cloak.
Okay.
It looks like he's wearing similar equipment to the guy that dragged you out here.
Okay.
Again,
guess-
he is it's sitting down, and you can tell from a glance, his cloak is a little bit tattered, and that he doesn't have a weapon, and is staring at you. Definitely, the whole idea here is people just staring at you assumedly in the darkness before, not saying a word to you, just looking at you intently is enough to throw you off.
Yeah. Take a step forward and
As you look to your left down another narrow corridor, see another ranger.
I want to look all the way around here before I do anything with the rangers.
As you see off in the corner, in a lone cell kept by yourself, what appears to be a woman.
Little girl.
We just hit the fucking jackpot. There's gotta be something wrong.
You said no to the girl?
No, it's not a little girl. It's a woman.
It's the guy's wife.
Yeah. I was just asking to see which one it was.
Oh yeah.
And then is there anything else finalized around this corner?
Another shelf, and then both sides of that shelf.
And I'm guessing I'll just step over here just to make sure there's no place anyone can really sneak up on me before.
Yarmir, you've been sitting there for quite a while. I will give you a spot check as well.
Time for my weekly reminder of whether I have 2 spot or 2 survival. I think it's 4. It might be survival. It is indeed survival. Alright. Womp.
Womp, womp.
You stare intently into the darkness and notice nothing.
He's thinking about other stuff.
Yeah. I'll in a low voice.
The woman looks at your tired eyes. You can tell that she is not hobbled. The only one thus far. You pass the ranger, and you can tell his legs are. His knee is definitely swollen more than a person's ought be.
I'll look at both the woman and the ranger here, and in a lower voice, ask, "Are you okay? Can you all speak?"
The ranger, who had been looking at you, would wait for pause for a second after you speak, and the woman would stare at you for a moment after you say something as well. The woman looks a little bit more fearful. The ranger definitely looks like very composed at this. Before, the ranger would make a very obvious and very sure sign of what's going on here, as he would raise a single finger to his lip.
So we gotta be quiet.
Before, he would start gesticulating rather precisely. Although you can't quite piece together what he's saying, really.
Did he put a finger to his lip, like be quiet, or
Yeah,
almost?
and then after that, he put his hand, lowered that hand, and then started doing some very precise signs at you.
I'll look at
motive on the signs.
Yes, but there might be something better for this, perhaps.
Does our local scribe have pen and paper?
Always.
Okay.
So
JP, would you like to maybe say something out of character?
what does JP
Well,
know?
No. I know what he's gonna. I'm gonna come back, ask you if you have pen and paper, and say that they're arranging the guys back there in a lower voice, and have you go back there with pen and paper.
Hold up. Are you saying this to him?
They don't want us to talk.
Oh. I would in a very light, like,
Just
I would whisper.
make a scribbling motion or something.
Yeah, I'll make a scribbling motion back there.
And then I would like point at my bag and like say like, you want me to grab it? And then I assume you would nod, and then point back in the other direction, and then I would walk over there with my pen and paper.
Yeah.
JP, do you remember? Do you know what I'm getting at, or no?
No.
Does JP have some sort of like
He has
way to communicate?
I mean, in character versus out of character, no, I don't remember.
Out of character, do you remember?
I think that's what he's saying.
Okay. Well, look at your languages tab.
Does he have sign language or some shit?
Yeah.
Seafoam sign language.
Oh, is that common around here?
You're in the goddamn Seafoam Alliance.
Yeah, but
Alright.
why would sign language be so important out here?
Light bulb goes on over my head, and I walk up and start signing gibberish.
Yeah, as Yarmir looks, Yarmir finally in Torchlight looks over what they're doing, and they're like gesticulating at each other, and you think that's weird. Before you look on the edge of your vision in the cage, and you see the guy like making signs at them.
Can this
in
be
sign language.
Naruto style chocolate bullshit?
You're fucking signing jutsus.
Yes.
You like accidentally make a fireball and you have to like wave your hands off to. You jump to cancel the cast. Everybody's super confused.
Yeah, as Yarmir looks over there and sees the guy is clearly signing, and your two party members are fumbling at this because they don't know this language. Would you like to go over and intermediate?
Go over and assist.
While this is happening, I signal to Quaylen that I'm going to stand near Yaramir, and I want him to swap with where Yaramir was.
Oh yeah, that's my plan. Is I plan on coming over where Yarmir is.
Out of character, I think we need like a word to mean like immediate combat. Like in real life, we would say contact, and then like where it's coming from, so we knew like, oh, we're getting shot from the right.
And D&D, you would hear the noise and come running.
Sometimes, you know, it's just not worth. Sometimes it's like a, oh, I have it, keep doing what you're doing, and sometimes it's a, I need your help immediately thing.
Okay, I'll yell which is which when that happens.
Okay, I guess we can yell at that point, but
Is Yarmir going over?
Yes,
yeah, Yarmir and I are going over, and I'm gonna keep turning. I'm gonna keep looking in Quaylen's direction, but I'm gonna stand like right here, just in case I'm needed to heal.
All right, Yarmir. As you're outside of the torchlight, it is a little bit dim, but you can, thankfully, sign language is a language where you can just sign into each other's palms if it is dim and you need to, talk to each other. As you begin pulling out some sign language of which nobody in your party knew you had until just now, and communicating. Yeah, you picked it up from your training early on because communicating in the dark is of utmost importance. Silently, that is. And apparently that is also true for rangers. As you begin conversing, and while sign language is a little bit of a coarse language compared to how dense of information you can get by talking and how quickly you can communicate it, he signs out a couple of key characters at you. As he would comment, most wounded, leader ahead, danger ahead, remain quiet. They can hear.
Do you think we could back out of the cave and I could tell you guys? Or do we want-
You communicate with him, and Cameron has a pen and paper out. You can write to him.
Alright, so then I'll take the pen and paper and very quietly and lightly try to write down what I'm hearing.
And the questions that I would think would come to your mind, or hopefully Cameron would relay, would be: do we need to use silver or not, or how many? That's probably the immediate questions to ask.
Sure, I'll sign back. Just leader, how many others?
He would hold up 3 fingers before continuing to say, 2 animal, and then would make the symbol really quick for human. And you're pretty sure there's not really a word for this in sign language, but you might need to make some postulating of what animal humans could be.
Yeah. I'd sign wolf, if I could, or dog. Man dog.
He would sign back bear and wolf.
Baron, isn't that girl's parents?
Oh, I'm muted. I said the same thing, Jinx.
Well, no, you can't jinx me because you're muted. You're fucked.
And you can't say it out character. You can't say it out loud. So Yarmir realizes this first.
I'm gonna yell in character. Take
He
it
grabs
back
the
right
book back.
Yeah,
Give me a soda.
You don't know this yet. You just see Yarmir's color drain a little bit from his face. Before the ranger would continue and say, 3rd, roots. Careful.
Oh no, the tree. Oh fuck.
Wait, what? Something just went in my head.
The 3 druids that are the Moonchild's parents are
it's the
are
the
here,
mother
and they're the ones bringing werewolves. I mean, it would make sense that why Moonchild is so far up and behind Silver to protect them from the werewolves. If
Because
they're
they would know better than anybody what they need to
Yeah,
protect her
but
from.
but again, we know that there's 4 druids. Maybe the Moonchild was the 4th, and we only need, and it's only these 3. But that's interesting. Okay, you continue to ask about Silver and or anything else that you deem worthy.
He would then continue on, Yarmir, as he's piecing out, before he would kind of pause for a moment before he would say, "What is Moon like?"
It's not.
How many days are we from the full moon? I'm not keeping track.
2, I thought.
Yeah, not tonight, the next night.
Yeah,
I would sign 2.
Yeah, 2 till full, basically.
Yep.
And he would look with a bit of trepidation before he would comment, before pointing at himself, and would say, "Man, wolf," and would kind of make the gesture for everything, and then man, and then wolf.
I would look at the others.
yeah. He's saying they're all werewolves.
So does Wolfbane shit actually cure them?
So we have the cure for them, but we would probably want to make sure that.
Probably would be silent.
Well, we want to make sure that
Or they'd smell it.
we can take care of the people who are turning them to werewolves and then give them a cure. I don't know. We don't know how loud the cure is, and if they can hear us, we probably want to wait to give them the cure. You know, go down the hall, take care of that, and then get them through, especially in this tight quarters potentially. But I assume we all have a couple things of the cure, so if you want to give them the cure, go for it.
I think the bigger concern is how much you want to cheese the werewolf regeneration.
Yeah.
If we let them turn and then cure them, we'll have some werewolves to deal with for the short term, but long term they will be permanently maimed.
Yeah.
Yes.
As you've been looking around this whole time, Raynor, as he's been talking, you've been kind of drawn to how severe the injuries are, and
Yeah, and I don't think I can heal all of them, can I?
yeah, looking between the hunter to your right and the ranger here, the ranger definitely seems much more wounded, indicating that he's either been here for longer or that they wounded him more severely. As you can tell, that his knee is puffed up and possibly a bit gangrenous. Like, if this was a normal medical practice, it kind of stinks a little bit as well.
Oh yeah, I bet the smell in here is just fucking unstomachable.
Yeah, and you guys are adventurers, and you put up with ogre guts before, so it's not the end of the world, but it is not pleasant near this guy. If this was, modern medicine, you would definitely amputate. In fantasy medicine, with a very skilled inquisitor, you might, with like a very good roll, be able to pull it through. But like, you're looking at supernatural means, so the werewolf regeneration to keep it going. Like T-Bab mentioned, that like, yeah, this is clear that like this is the edge of your capabilities to restore some of these wounds these people have. And it would be exhausting and maybe a little bit loud, or take effort and time and treatment and that sort of deal to get them sorted out. These wounds are advanced enough that even your skill is not guaranteed to see them through, like the werewolf's regeneration might.
Yeah, it's fucked. Well, I'm kind of at the mercy of
Yarmir to spread information,
yeah, Yarmir to tell me that, and then.
But in terms of most to least, those 3 dudes in the corner that were like motioning for you to be quiet to begin with, it looks like mostly, they have lesser wounds. The rangers are definitely like very bad, and the hunters are somewhere in the middle.
Yeah,
The woman is fine.
I would write down very wounded. If we cure them now, they won't recover, or something like that. Whatever.
Yeah.
He would nod a bit grimly at the that notion. But do you tell him that you have a cure?
I would hope so.
Yeah, I would tell him. I'd sign. I don't know, potion, drink, cure, whatever. Man, animal. And
He seems surprised at this, and would kind of sign the sign for really, which you would nod at. before he would think and see where you were going with the whole, wounded thing. Before he would pause and then continue and say, "We'll fight you if turn."
Is there the bar keep them at bay at all? Like, I assume no, because he's saying he'll fight us, and that would be too easy. But,
What was that, Cameron?
will the bars? Yeah, are these cages made out of wood?
Yes, these appear to be made out of woven wood and ivy around them.
So there's
These
no
are
way
like-
that they're staying in here.
You can investigate these. These seem weird.
Can I use a dungeoneering check or
Arcana.
Oh, that's even better. Okay.
Yeah, you're not sure how you missed this detail before, but that whole deal with the bramble outside and these cages makes some stuff fall into play, and even like the bars on these cages, the cells, they're wood too. There's got to be some real weird druidism going on here. You've not heard or seen anything like this, but this would got to be like a very advanced arborist druid or something to be able to do this. To just shape roots like this.
I would immediately tap Yarmir and try to motion vaguely about the cages to get him to ask about them to see if he can give any more information.
I'd sign about the cages.
He would, it would take a moment to get through why are you asking about the cages. He doesn't quite get what you want to know about them before you explain in more detail who made them. Essentially, is what I think would boil down from Cameron's questioning. What's the deal? Before he would comment, tree woman, and then he would kind of motion and list off the druids again.
Is there... I'm trying to think of a way I could motion, who... Does someone let them out of the cage or something?
I think they break through, and she just rebuilds it after.
That's what I'm thinking too, but I feel like it's worth asking at the chance that, maybe she releases them from this around the time of the full moon.
Yeah.
So if we fight them soon enough, we can potentially keep these people in the cages, let them regen, and then after the full moon, heal them.
Yeah. That's where my mind would go, would be asking about any weaknesses the three of them have. Silver, if that's going to be good or whatnot for the sake of us pushing forward.
Yeah.
Because
Sure.
yeah, sorry, go.
For the sake
Gesture
of
of the weapon.
answering what questions, what question are you asking first? Because Cameron just had some, I think.
I would ask mine first, because in my character's head, my focus is on saving these people rather than the fight. And then if the solution is to fight, I will pull up on the block. I'll start asking about weaknesses, about the silver and shit.
Well, I think it's Yarmir's call, so do you want to ask, what questions do you want to ask him first, Yarmir?
I'll go with Cameron's first. Before asking about the silver.
Yeah. So asking about how the cages are, done, how you get out, basically. How do you get out of cage? As you do not see an obvious lock mechanism as well. As the ranger would comment, rather, just kind of show you as he futilely, with his current state and condition, begins to pry the roots, which you can see have a little bit of give. But
he just rips them open.
Yeah, you don't think any of you guys, aside from the rhino, would be able to, do this task reliably. And you'd think the rhino would be pretty loud to track down here, so you're potentially inviting a fight if you do that.
I think that, in my head, that's where this is going anyways. But I would not try to do anything yet about that, so... what are we thinking?
I think we need to ask it about Any weaknesses or anything to know about that? About them for us to fight? We get the rhino to come down and we go for it.
So this is a lot different than I was thinking.
Why? What do you mean?
Well, so like,
I know the revelation that those three are in cahoots are the problem is surprising.
well, it
But-
seems to me that this is more, well, because like one of the druids is the tree, right?
Yeah, but this shit makes more sense.
Yeah, but it almost makes me think
Well-
that the initial guess was correct and that they turned his daughter into the Moonchild.
Well, she had
we-
no memory of that, I thought. Because I remember in the moment us asking something
Right,
like
but
that.
why would she?
That
This
may,
seems
may
more
have happened,
seems
yeah.
less druid, more fae related, I guess is what I'm.
Yeah, that could be the case.
This isn't like three stinky druids who are making more werewolves. This is like,
Well, this is a cult of the moon. Maybe it's some sort of like long-lasting ritual, and
yeah.
it's like this is the stuff that's described in my book.
Yeah. In other cases, it's the same thing of figuring out what we can do.
And to be fair, you could absolutely be correct. I just am not to be fair. Not willing to jump straight to that conclusion. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I don't know.
But yes, at the mention of ripping it out, before he would continue and would say, "Haven't seen her in a while. Only on Moon to restrain and cage."
Very sorry about the cough.
So where the tree druid is, probably not here, which is no bueno if you're going in loud.
Yeah, as then she can do something with it.
Indeed, not good.
This is tough, guys.
Decisions.
Who would have thought Josh would put us in some unwinnable situations? I'm sure this is winnable.
It's winnable, but there are sacrifices and prioritization. Like, as if your characters need to decide what is important to them.
My character does not really care about the well-being of these hunters as much as he wants to protect the Moonchild.
Yeah, I think a child is always going to take priority for me, but I want to save as many people as possible for sure. Like, my character is not seasoned in this shit. He is as much of an army as possible when it comes to murder stuff.
Yeah, the ranger also mentioned that there is their leader is ahead as well, which is more than likely who you're here for as well.
Did he say the leader is one of those three?
No, he mentioned that there was, the prisoners basically around here. When he was describing the prisoners, he said that there was, a ranger leader ahead. And it was very dangerous ahead. And there were druids ahead.
Oh, so there's the leader and the three ahead.
Why don't we
Well,
cure
the-
these? Why don't we cure these people regardless of the injuries they have, and then go fight?
I think maybe that is the option we have been brought to. But the problem is we might waste the cure on these people because, like, if the wound is gangrenous, he's dead.
Yeah, unless Cameron can intervene and get some good rolls.
And then if I waste all of that energy, I'm a problem fighting.
Well, the thing is if we're going to cure them, if we're going to fight these druids before the full moon, we don't need to cure them now.
Also,
Because
Cameron, I guess to tie back into Yarmir's thing, you can do a heal check if you want, Cameron. I mean, you've been investigating these wounds. You should be able to do that.
Is it 20 or 10?
D20 plus 14 because you're level 7.
14.
Level 7.
A
rank 2
double
healer.
level. Got
Yeah.
it. 31.
Yeah, combined with Yarmir's speculation before about like, oh, these were blunt wounds and they were done with, very skilled hands. Whoever healed these people, like, there's 2 days left to the full moon, and just like that other guy that escaped and like barely hung on for a day or two, until there was a day or two left, the guy in the cabin that you healed. These guys are inflicted with extremely precise wounds. Whoever did these wounds knew exactly what they were doing.
So he knows that they're not going to die. I know they won't die.
In 2
These
days.
are,
Yeah.
they're like, yes, surgically good. Okay.
Yeah.
Whoever did this is also probably a good healer, which would check out for an arborist druid.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I would signal. I kind of want to RP it because I think that's more interesting. But I think I would tap Yarmir. I would signal. I would press at my heart and then point and say, "Okay," like thumbs up or the OK sign.
You have a piece
or
of
the
paper,
like-
sir.
Oh, I
Yeah.
thought we weren't writing because it would make noise or something. Okay, that's fine with me. I would write on a piece of paper quickly, like, whoever made these wounds is a good healer. They knew that these people would not die quickly from them, so we have time. We can heal them and come back and still save them.
Yeah, they won't last much further after the moon, but they
So-
would make it to the moon.
So I would say that our problem is if we go in there guns blazing, and I'm writing something along these lines on the piece of paper, if we go in there guns blazing, we might have an issue with the child. But I would show him and write think separately, and then I would take it immediately over to Quaitland and then show him the same piece of paper.
All right, Quaylen. As you are looking around at the area in front of you, Raina would come up behind you. During this time, you could also roll a spot check into the darkness.
Yeah.
You can definitely tell that there's something up ahead of the next trailhead, but you don't want to. They're clearly still discussing something, so you don't want to move out much more. Whatever it is, it's not been moving, and it's rather steady over there. But you can't peer much further into the darkness. You can just tell that it sounds like there's something living further beyond, but it's either
Okay.
observing you as well, which I mean, you're an easy mark to observe with the torch, or maybe it's just not aware.
Yeah.
Yes, Rainer would
To
come up
go
behind you
even
with
further
a
beyond.
with a book.
Okay, I would just take a step back here. I'd read it real quick, and I think I would just write 2 words back: weakness with a question mark and silver with a question mark.
What was the second word?
Weakness and
Silver
asking
question,
silver.
silver, okay.
We haven't asked him what weakness they might have since he's been living, so that's the next step, and I'll just write the word, the two words get rhino question mark, and just kind of wait for him to go back to figure those the weakness question out and talk to Yarmir if he wants to get the rhino.
Yeah, as far as you know, Cameron, silver weakness would only be if they're werewolves. And you get
That's
that from your.
that's
your
why I haven't really been concerned about asking the question.
Well,
quickly.
That's the weakness question is in general if there's any
Yeah.
weakness we should know about,
Yeah.
and then it's double check with
Yeah,
silver.
Cameron will know more about werewolves than this guy. So if he knows something unrelated to them being werewolves, he may have more information on weaknesses.
Yeah, that's
The
what
silver
I was
one is
going
a
for.
red herring until they transform.
Okay, that's just what I was going for. Of is there something odd about this, or what? We get more from him, and then figuring out if we're just gonna go get the rhino and then go in.
Okay, so I bring it back to Yaramir, and I type ask about I write ask about weakness.
Alright,
Who just joined?
who did just join?
Dietrich's in here, but I thought he's been here,
One of
in
the
here
bots.
the whole time. Oh, it's a bot. Okay.
Alright, before we get into
Jokes on
this,
you, it's me.
I just want a nipple rub that I discovered a rune and enlightened all the hunters in the starting zone about how to get it, and they're worshiping me as a god.
I'm proud of you. But ask about the weakness.
I'll type asking them about the weakness.
I don't like this place anymore. I need new friends.
As you start questioning him on the weakness, he would kind of think for a moment before it would say, man, wolf, silver, which was something you already knew, but possibly not useful until they're werewolves. Before he would stop and consider, before saying, tree woman, iron, and then shivering for cold, and he would kind of shrug.
What were the words? I heard tree woman, iron, and shivering for cold. What was the first?
Cold iron.
Cold iron. She's Faye.
Yeah, Faye.
He would then begin gesturing Yarmir at you, and it doesn't make much sense. What you're trying to piece together what he is saying as he is describing, you think, the tree woman and why he's calling her the tree woman. As he would describe legs like trees, body like person, moves, roots.
Tarnation?
A very, this is a broken language to get across in the first place, and like very abstract things he is, it's hard to get across in sign language.
So he's saying it's a tree woman.
Can you essentially write that down and Cameron do
I
a
will.
magical creatures check to see if he has an
You
idea?
can assume I'm writing pretty much everything I'm told them.
Yeah. If Cam can do a magical creatures check on that, that'd be great to try.
Yeah, and the shrug after it means he doesn't really know what she is either.
Yeah.
He's just guessing that normal people don't have tree legs.
Well, this is some fucked up shit.
Yes, it is.
Before he would say, and then he would again go back to human animal, which you're imagining probably means the druid, like druids that maybe shapeshift. He would then sign, the general notion of ranged, but would not really have much further than that. Before signing or notioning that they are very strong, from his perspective. You're not sure how strong very strong is, but judging by the fact that they ran a werewolf cult, they are probably
They're
in
very
your strata.
powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, in our strata? Okay, that is.
Yeah.
Your strata is almost the highest strata, Cameron. You gotta remember that. Like, fucking, the next step up is like the only person you fought so far who is above your strata is the fucking double ogre.
Yeah, I guess I just was thinking like. When I think very powerful, I'm thinking like 12. Like.
Yeah, that's what you're thinking. This random ranger guy who is like level 3 or 4 at best is like.
Yeah, he's like, oh,
they
this
will
guy's fucking buff.
Yeah, they will shred us and they manhandle us.
Okay.
Yeah, and when you consider a bunch of, level 2, 3 maxes, yeah, a couple level 6s would manhandle them.
Yeah, you
so.
can rule them like angry gods if you want. Everybody in this
Yeah,
room will
I
do
guess
that.
what I was thinking is that if they have 13, 14 werewolves and they're like almost single-handedly controlling them, then I was thinking like, oh, this is a swinging dick.
But yeah, the way he's describing them, he doesn't seem to be describing something that you would say is like on the cusp of like unheard of, like you would describe whatchamacallem. Oh my god, I can't remember. Crush God.
Crush God, okay.
Yeah, he's not describing, the way he's using them isn't like, I am terrified to be even near them. That would be kind of more terms of Crush God. The way he's describing them is like, I can tell I have 0 shot.
Okay, well, I don't.
Yeah, and again, this is getting filtered through sign language, which is a little bit sucky.
Yeah, I would say at this point, The only thing we could possibly do is if you want a magical creatures check on the druid woman, Cameron. Otherwise, we get the rhino and just trudge down and see what we can do.
I think that's our best bet. Is for me to try to do the check, but let me. What do I roll for that, Josh? I swear I'll remember one of these days. Since I have a specialty in it.
Specialty in magical creatures?
Yes.
That will be your Arcana times 2. Just like how your healing check is times 2 because you got a specialization.
20. 34.
From what he's describing, again, through the brokenness of his, you're getting an account of something that he is saying in sign language, which is a, loose language. At first you think JP's describing, like, a dryad of some sort. But the fact that he's saying, like, it's a human upper body leads you to double think that, because dryads are, like, very obviously, like, they form a bond with a tree. They wouldn't really go about doing this as much, or, like, making a big bramble patch. So, you aren't sure, but your best guess from the shitty explanation that you've been provided secondhand is that it's dryad related or something unique. And your gut's telling you it's probably something unique, because you don't know any dryads that have an MO like this.
Okay.
And you don't know, you can't really pin it down more than it's something unique without, like, drilling him for details to actually tell.
And we do not have time for that.
You don't have time, and you would be able, you'd start aggroing people if you start talking.
Alright, I think I'm going to ask directly because I know that we know there will be a problem, but I don't know exactly what it is. The last thing I will write to JP to translate is, if we fight now, what can happen? Are there any... Fuck, what do I want to say? If we fight now and win, are there any downsides? Like, is there anything we're not thinking of? Do they have someone on the outside who can press a fucking nuke button and blow some shit up, or what? But you can ask that however you want.
Sure. Do they have any secret plans or hidden strategies, strengths, powers, if we fight them? Try to get that across in sign language.
Yeah, you ask, what are they doing this for, why?
Yeah, that works.
Before, he would kind of pause, and again, you think he's thinking hard because he might know or have speculation on something, but filtering it through sign language is hard. Before, he would say, I have heard something about a moon ritual. They start speaking in Druidic or Fey. Not sure. Basically speaking in a different language. You fill in the gap, JP, that he's probably saying. They're probably talking in Fey. But he says they talk in a different language whenever a word about a moon ritual is brought up. Echoes in this cave, that's why we bring quiet.
Alright, so I'd relay this. I'm getting a little bit uncomfortable. Don't like this.
I'm starting to think JP doesn't like face stuff.
Have we asked them if they've seen a little girl? The guy's daughter?
No.
No, we have not yet.
I'll ask have you seen a little girl? Daughter of a traitor.
He would motion at the wife over there as the notion that, like, yeah, he knows that she's the traitor's wife, as he would say, he escaped.
I would say injured, bed, we help.
He would nod before looking over at the wife and smiling at her. He can't really do much more than that from his angle, because he's, hobbled down there and he can't really move without hurting himself. Before he'd go back to you and would say, daughter taken by tree woman elsewhere.
Oh no, that is her.
Oh, it's her, yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Holy shit, bro.
Womp womp.
Womp womp.
Womp womp.
Oh no. That poor little girl.
guessing they turned a bunch of werewolves to draw power from the Fey spirit we took to and used that to make her.
Yeah, for some reason or another.
Don't know why, yeah.
She's almost for sure a sacrifice, right? Like, I feel like if we do something to fight them now, they're just going to murk her. Because if that Fae thing is so powerful that she can do shit like this, it makes me nervous that she's just going to, like, you know, kill her in the tree from a distance.
Their unity of some sorts with the full moon and other such, and a ritual did that. That doesn't mean that
yeah, you're
immediately right now, oh, they're so powerful, they're just going to nuke her. Like, if they're going to nuke her now, we're better off just grabbing her and running than fighting if we think that. But I think it's something we might be able to handle now. The Moonchild will be just fine.
I feel like
I think you're onto something.
The Moonchild said that she communed with the Dryad. So my
She communed with the tree. We're not. I don't know.
No,
if that
JP. I'm pretty sure she said she's fun to commune with when JP mentioned the Dryad. My inclination would be to take her to the Dryad if she lives through this bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I agree.
Maybe she can replace her.
Try a good place to start for the really good place to start.
Yeah. So I think at this point we get the Rhino and start heading down.
I think it's time to start cracking skulls. I've delayed the combat long enough.
2 months coming.
No stone unturned.
I mean, except for this one over here that Zach kind of forgot about the 2 hunters to go look at.
What are you talking about? Oh, I didn't. I thought that was a dead end.
Can I have a medicine check on them too?
Yeah, they're just looking in the corner like, wait, don't forget about us, and then you just free every other captive, and they just leave them. We didn't know you were here. Sorry.
We're pretty fucked up.
Arby.
Here.
Yeah, both of the rangers.
Oh.
Yeah, thankfully this is just an investigation medicine check rather than a.
Okay. An actual heal check, yeah.
His legs are similarly messed up. You don't have as good of a read on it, but do you think it's indeed... You're not going to do any fighting or let alone moving on that leg. Like, this would be an evac mission that would take precious time from you guys to get these guys anywhere. Like, you're in the middle of a goddamn forest. Like, how are you going to get these people out of here? Is kind of your question.
We should get the Rangers for that. That's not our problem.
Well, like, if you're going to cure them and then leave them here, you don't have much time to get medical treatment for them if you're going to do that.
Yeah.
Shit.
Well, no, we can't fight for 24 hours. Never mind.
Yeah, we worry about them later. We do what we.
You could provide like your treatment here. It'll take you time because these are going to be some rigorous treatments. You'll be sapping your time.
First. Yeah.
If you're going to go with this route, otherwise, letting them hulk out and heal themselves is a way to make sure they're not crippled for life. If you care about such things. The more heartless thing would be cure them. You've got more important things to deal with than, escorting cripples across the country.
No, I would definitely, camp here until I could save them. Like, I don't know how often I can re-roll my healing checks, but...
Yeah.
It would become my life's purpose at that point.
Generally, healing checks you do once, and the outcome of the surgery is kind of determined from there. So, like, your worst case in this one would be like, oh, you just kind of have to amputate it. You did your best, doesn't work out.
When you try your best, you do.
Is there anything around here that we have to worry about them fucking up if we sprint back to the other rangers and say, hey, fucking hide?
Yeah, the child.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we all just go to the tree and fucking... Because the druid and...
Let's worry about that after, because we don't know what's going to happen here.
No, I think that's a before question, because...
If you let me finish...
Holy
the
shit,
mushrooms,
I hate both of you.
The mushrooms are are shittier than the plant that we have and the flower that will grow from the Moonchild. So if we stay at the tree, there's no chance the werewolves go to where the rangers are. There's no reason to even tell them to hide. The mushrooms aren't as big a draw as the plant that we have 2 of now, by the way, and the child up there.
Yeah, but my follow-up is, why would they do all of this ritual to make the child to just have her die on the next full moon?
They went through all of this stuff to prevent that. They don't know she's gonna draw them all of a sudden.
They definitely know.
I mean, if they didn't want that, why would there be a silver cage up there, Cameron?
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying they know. So, like,
Then they would protect her as well as the silver cage.
We're going to kill them.
Okay, then we take her away from the tree, so all of a sudden she doesn't grow more werewolf catnip, and
She grows it naturally. It's her blood.
No, she grows it. She grew it with her blood on the tree.
I think that she was just smearing on something as a demonstration.
Yeah.
I thought it was just. I thought it was. It seemed to do both because it left a dead spot on the tree, so it sapped power from the tree as well.
I just think that she is naturally producing the shit. I think that whatever she just smears her blood on, it's less of a sap power thing and more that it's like such a powerful thing it kills stuff around.
It could be. In either case, we then just sit around her and let them Hulk out.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But that's why we
Yeah.
need to have the plan
face the
before
13
we
werewolves
go.
is, you put the fight in hard mode basically at that point.
Yeah. Well, I think we need to take big treats first, and we worry about exactly the plan as to how we're beating up, how much it takes into account. There's so much unknown about this. We take care of this part first, and we figure her and what we're doing with them later.
I think letting them wolf out to heal their injuries is planned for a group that doesn't have a divine healer. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
I think if we cure them all with the salve, we can spend time here.
If I fail a check, these people are permanently maimed.
Yeah, well,
that's going to have like psychological impacts on my character for sure.
So you try and cure them before we give them the cure. If it doesn't work for those who don't, it doesn't work on. We let them Hulk out and.
Yeah, we have 2 days to figure
we have
that
2
out.
days
Let's
to
kill
figure
these
that out,
guys
but-
first, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We have so many different things. We do this thing in front of us that we know we have to do, and then we evaluate the options.
You give it the old
yeah, but it's not like I'm wasting in-character time. This is all out-of-character conversations.
Yeah.
So like the time hack that you are rushing through is like self-inflicted or self-imposed is the probably paraphrasing.
Yeah, but in character we don't need to worry about this. So out of character, we can talk about all this, and if something throws a monkey wrench, then all that time goes to waste. So we do what's ahead of us, and we figure it out.
Yeah, so like, we could have this discussion over a week in chat.
Yeah,
if we don't die in this combat, but we can't do combat through Facebook chat.
Oh, we could.
I've seen people play chess games over
slow roll combat.
Months.
Josh just deals with our turn as it goes. We've
I
never
used to
done that
do
before.
text-based role playing.
I targeted an ad on Twitter today, and the pitch was, your DM quit and players don't show up to session? Buy this module and play D&D by yourself.
Have you seen how many people do D&D with themselves and then try to port characters into like local game store games? Oh, it's a plague. But anyways, okay, we can do the combat. I would go to Quayland and I would say, I'll get Rhino. Get ready for fight.
Okay. I will take out my spear since it seems like the silver sword isn't going to matter here.
And I would, before I do that, I would tell Quayland to quietly go to each of them and say, we are going to fight. We will save you if, when we're done. Or something, whatever he thinks is appropriate. I don't know how connotation we're signing, so make it sound optimistic.
You signed to the ranger, and you signed to the other ranger. The other ones don't seem like they speak sign language.
And I don't know sign language, so I'll
Very ableist of you.
yeah.
But yes, JP, I had to figure out how to weave your extra language skill in here somehow, and you forgot about it.
I've never used it.
And
Till
you
now.
have.
I mean, it would actually be useful if 2 people party at it. That's
Yeah.
something you got to plan.
But yes, you signed to the 2 rangers, who both of which seem to be proficient in this language. As you say that you're about to start a fight and rescue, as they would nod and kind of seem a little bit worried about their injuries and what maybe perhaps what would happen if you guys fail, and like they'll be at the druid's mercy again. But anyway, who's retreating to go retrieve the rhino?
I will go and get the rhino.
Church boy.
All right, you go back outside to retrieve the rhino. This whole time, Rhino, you've been sitting in the bramble patch, keeping an eye out, watching the entrance as it is. Spot check.
Let me double check my number. Yep. Nice.
Nothing seems out of the ordinary.
Good.
That's 3 spot checks we failed. Yeet. Nothing can go wrong.
As out from the hole emerges the human. Well, the one that is actually human. I don't think you know that Yarmir is a changeling. I think you don't know that yet in character. So one of the 2
They do
humans.
not.
One of the 2 humans emerges from the hole. The one that wears robes all the time. What would you like to
The
say,
talkative
Kim?
one.
I say, or I show him a piece of paper and type, "We fight now. Let's go." Very.
can't read.
You can't? Oh my god! Your character can stealth, but it can't read.
I can speak common. Who the fuck would have taught a rhino to read?
I just figured it's a skill you.
He looks at the piece of paper and looks at you, and Cameron's got like a really somber look in his face, and then he says,
That's
I
the most
can't
ridiculous
read."
thing your rhino can do. You're right. My bad. I would say
I'm a beast man.
very powerful. We fight. Let's go.
Don't tell him to stay quiet until we get in.
And I would go shh. But I think that is probably futile.
Do you want a new sneak check for trying to get through quietly, Josh?
Yes, I would actually like you to strength check to widen the hole.
Ah, okay.
As he
Can I
goes
do
back
this
down.
quietly?
Depends how good the strength check is.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, as Cameron goes down the hole, and you just start to see the ground like shaking and like fucking dirt flying off Cameron and like brambles through the hole above you, and then you realize, oh yeah, he's big, isn't he? He's bigger than the hole. As with an average roll, you can see the the earth shake above you, Cameron, and a bunch of dirt kind of clawed down in your direction, and your blood kind of goes cold for a second as you're trying to figure out, is this enough noise? Is this gonna be a problem?
Well, T-Path, have you considered that Zach told me to tell you to be quiet?
I would love it if your character told him that while he's trying to strength check his way in.
What's the scene from Drawn Together where there's a train going through a mountain? That's what the rhino's doing. As
Trying. Shh.
yeah, as the the cloud's going down around you, and you just get that kind of that sinking cold blood, feeling of cold, cold in your stomach of trying to figure out, like, looking behind you, like, is this a problem? Are we gonna have issues? Not really sure if you need to roll initiative yet. Before the rhino starts going down the uncompressed soil and kind of almost slipping into, going loosely down it, almost causing an avalanche as he does so.
Do I hear this, Josh?
Yes, you can hear that there's commotion going on at the front of the cave.
Sneak.
I'll try and sneak too, but also I have a torch, so I recognize that's probably futile, but I'll still try to.
Yeah, as you realize you got a torch, it's a sunstone one, so like you can like put it in a bag and like try to snuff it really quick.
Yeah, but then I can't see. So I want to try and sneak while holding the torch, such that they just don't realize where the torch light is coming from, and it just. And I doubt that's
I don't think that works very well, but yeah, you can
Yeah,
attempt.
no.
Why is it bright in the cave now?
I think about this and realize it's futile, and I take a posture ready to fight with my spear.
Yeah, as covered in dirt and bramble, the rhino and the human kind of stare at each other as if like, you serious? Before everybody in the cave feels as much as they hear something from the next room.
Oh, fuck.
It's gonna
Cameron.
take you like 10 turns to get there, T-Pad.
Cameron, you should have buffed me. You can give me a lot of strength.
I wasn't thinking about it.
You weren't the only one not thinking about it.
I was thinking about my class.
I was about to say, why are there two Camerons and why is
Oh.
one farther ahead of the
I
map
was
than me?
scrolled up, so I didn't realize that I already had one. Someone must move my character for me. Uh-oh.
As you hear, as much as you feel, a deep and resonating roar. And, almost all at once, the sound of trees, roots, creeping on stone.
God.
Roll initiative. For what, you don't know, but clearly it's identified you.
Okay. We haven't done this in a while. I don't know initiative.
D20 plus edgy.
What's that? Okay, thank you. Cheers.
I laugh like mine's a bad roll when it's still probably second best.
That's a lot of edgy.
I marked it. I'm hit 27 because to get 2 wide giants in my Tempest Edge, I need to have my Agi at 27. And this way I hit 27 at level 8, especially since I'm half brewed with Agi
I
and
like how
Jan.
Crush got still initiative. That's how long we've had combat from.
Yeah.
Damn it.
That's
Literally
before I was here.
You guys didn't take the bait and fight the young master.
I was trying to take the bait. Someone just wouldn't
Later.
reel him in.
When we're not at a traveler's temple.
I was insult shit out of that guy. Just politely.
Yeah, they didn't take the bait.
Yeah, we'll get him next time.
Mission failed.
I added, why is there 2 Quailins? What did I do wrong? So,
I'm only seeing 1 Quailin.
okay. Everybody should be on the order that I think should be there.
Yeah. Wow, Cameron's T-Pav at 9 edges, not less than an initiative.
I guess
Yeah, I had
we'll
a really
Change
good
in
roll.
mind.
I rolled a
But-
4 and you.
Yeah.
The sound is clearly the both sound, although that massive roar reverberates everywhere. And then Yaramir, you rolled a 32, it looks like.
Yes.
Okay, you didn't put yours in, so I will.
I'm 4 turns
Descend.
away.
All right, Yaramir, you're top of the order. You tell where something came from, but You're not sure if you want to go there. There's also the whole
Pull
deal
it.
with light and low light, and the fact that you guys can't really fight effectively in the dark.
Dear God, pull it back to us.
Yeah, no, I want to regroup with the chuckle fucks who caused this, so I will start moving back towards the entrance. I also, what did I roll for sneak? It was like 26? Yeah, 26 sneak, so keep that in mind.
Yeah, Yarmir, as you start running back, you can hear one of the rangers call out, even though you're partially deafened from that roar nearby, saying, "That's their pet."
Oh, fuck. Is it that dire wolf that was supposedly killed? Let's see.
Alright, is that your turn, Yarmir?
Yep, I'm already in sneak and I'm just moving.
Alright, as whatever is going on over there begins moving from the darkness. Its footsteps are like thunder, as much as the rhino's is.
His ass cheeks are like thunder.
As emerging from the darkness at the edge of torchlight, you see the bare and utter outline of a bear.
Damn it, that looks like a dire bear.
Hey, remember the last dire bear we encountered?
That you got really close to and it blew your eardrums out like this one just tried to?
Yes.
Oh, I was thinking of the owl bear, not the last dire bear. Oh, damn it.
Yeah, how could
Awesome.
you forget that campaign?
Austin took ear damage.
Yeah, that's right.
What was that? 2 sessions after falling off a cliff?
Yeah. Okay. 10, 20. I'm gonna look down.
You don't bring it to me.
Shut up. Looking down the hall.
As you see what appears to be bramble coming from the right and a dire bear coming from the left.
Wait, what coming from the right?
Bramble? Thorns? Roots?
Hmm.
Am I supposed to see that on the map?
Well, yeah, there's something in the.
Oh, I see that now. So that's 30. I'm gonna go there.
You get ever closer to the dire bear's mouth.
It's not holding action, is it?
Who knows?
Okay.
Question.
Where's is it? This wide? That wide? Where's its?
It's hitbox. I'll just
Yeah,
draw it
what's-
around it. It's not a regular hitbox. It's wider than it is tall. Well, taller than.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yep. How does that work for my AOE then?
You have to get 2 hexes deep.
Okay. Yeah, and I can do that. I'm going to the edge of its hitbox. I just don't know if that's here or here.
There you go. It's got that jank fox hitbox, Cameron.
Okay. I'm going there. I'm going here.
All right. You walk in mauling range.
Yeah.
All right. Looks like we're having a good old fashioned simultaneous action happening.
Like, I'm walking in and then I'm going to attack. Is it waiting for me to attack?
Yeah, it's attacking and you're walking in and attacking. It's a simultaneous action.
Oh, I figured since it was during my move action, I'd be able to dodge still. In either case. Yeah, I mean, my plan would be to go up and tornado swirl. So,
Yep, as you start spinning in its face, and surprisingly, its mouth lunges at you as you cut into it. As
Right.
it grips down on your arm, and, grips down on your arm as you're spinning and trying to hurl a spear down its throat. Its insides are much tougher than you would think ever natural for a bear to be.
yeah.
As you take 29 physical, and have your healing reduced by 50%, as you see your incision from that gouges in you just immediately start to fester and infect. Something
That
is
is
wrong with this thing's breath.
okay.
So it's 60 on one and then 30 on the next, right?
It's 54 because it's not a giantkin. I'm guessing for my slaying.
No, it's not a giant.
So it's 54.
And it's too deep, right? Or is this the one that's too deep, or is this the one that's
Yes.
50%?
this is gonna be too deep. It.
Okay.
No, sorry. Well, yeah, it's too deep. It deals 1.5 damage, which is gonna be D1.
Let me go read this text. I know one of them says like it does 50%
It deals
in the first
two
hex.
two times weapon damage, deals 50% 2 hexes away.
Okay, yeah, so it's 1.5 times 54, which is really
81.
72, isn't it? Or,
I 54 times 1.5 is 81.
All right, probably. Yeah, you hit it, and it bites you and does considerable physical damage and infects your wound.
Yeah, and I'm dancing winds 10, 20, 40, 50,
Yeah,
60.
not-
And you see me rushing all the way back and saying, Giant crazy bear! Giant crazy bear! As I'm screaming and running back. It's marked by Zephyr, by the way.
You can't see it because it's too far off screen, but it does have the windy icon.
Okay.
All right, Tarkog. I think Twin may have cut your movement for being a 2.
Actually, I have more. I'll move to the side.
What's going on?
As the bunny just screams past you about a bear.
Goes there.
You said half healing?
Yep.
God damn, he's
Okay.
fast as fuck.
I got 70 feet of movement.
Wait, Zach got mortal striked?
Basically.
Yeah. Really.
How do you know what a mortal strike is?
Because
Me?
it's got the same effect name in Novan.
Yeah.
Here I
That's
am.
Isn't that the middle level 2 fighter ability?
It's
Yes.
Mortal Cleave, but yes, it is a Mortal Strike effect from WoW.
Close
JP.
enough.
Potato.
Mortal Strikes is a WoW
He's not
effect
level us.
that JP thought you would not know about, but it's already in Novan.
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna hold my action, and that'll be my turn.
All right, Cameron. You can't see any giant bear. You definitely heard a giant bear, and that definitely looks like a bite from a giant bear. And it punctured Zach's nice blue skin, which should have a bunch of armor. I think you miscalculated your armor shit, Zach.
How
29, I have... Oh, yeah, you're right.
Respite is a 3-turn cooldown, so I'm nervous about using that
That's not
before.
29 true damage. Yeah, you get bonus
Yeah.
armor.
I
Maybe-
miscounted by one.
Is that effect on Zach cleansable? I wonder.
He doesn't have a cleanse. I only took 8 damage, so you can inner fire someone if you want.
I was thinking about charging up a holy.
Yeah, you can do that too. Whatever you want in this regards. Yeah.
All right.
Anything's fine here. I don't need healing.
I think I'm gonna move forward. Right here.
T-Paz movement is like 20 feet, so you want to stay behind next to us back here. Because he's going to go there, so if you go where you're going, he can't get by you.
I can't move that token, so I'm gonna make my other one again. Where was your movement end, TPEV?
Oh,
Can you
20
show me?
feet too wide. So there.
Okay, I'm gonna sit right here. And then I'm going to charge up a holy in that direction. Josh, can you draw the square or the rectangle for me?
I'll do it while he's doing this.
That's not the
I
rectangle,
just
that's the bear.
don't remember how to do it.
That's the bear.
Yeah, I got it.
Isn't
You
it
guys do your
this?
thing.
Sorry, that's
Yeah,
what's
it's something
wrong.
like
Okay, there you go.
that.
I drew the rectangle. Here, we'll there you
I
go.
draw bear.
Ah!
How many bears is that?
Fucking kill it.
All right, then that's the angle I'm shooting for, and I'm just going to charge that up. And then can I shout for Yaramir to get back?
Stop.
Or I'll just yell "get back," and then Yeah, but he's forward, and I want him to get hit by the buff. So
So you want me to come back to you or back up from where I am?
I don't care where you end up. I just need you in that rectangle that they made.
Quote unquote rectangle. Bear
Well,
tangle.
because it works
he's a
it
long
works
boy.
weird at the edge, so it's more like a crystal.
Yeah.
Is it my turn directly after you say this?
Yes, it looks like it.
Alright.
So my concern is that this big fucker will walk into me, but it's fine.
Yeah, it just depends on how much movement you have.
I'm underneath the thing right here.
Because you can come all the way back here if you really want. It just depends on
Yeah,
how
I'll
much
do that.
movement you want to move. Because T-Pad goes here, you would need to move one more to not
Yeah,
mess
alright, that's fine. I'll
mess
move
him
there.
up.
I'm gonna
Still-
use my action after JP's turn.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna set grasping vines here. It only affects enemies. Anyone disagree?
No, go for it. That sounds good.
Yeah, so I set grasping vines there, Josh. 3 wide. 30 foot away starting here, so out to there. Right one. Out to there actually. Yeah. Perfect. Surely nothing will go wrong, considering we're facing a druid that plays with.
Correct.
Alright, as it is the bear's turn, who moves up his movement to the edge of the vines and begins. And as he moves, you can hear the crinkling of vines behind him.
Oh dear God.
Yeah,
I'm facing a fire elemental, and my chosen weapon is a can of hairspray and a lighter.
as the bear would sniff a few times at the vines before surprisingly just starting to munch on them as it shrinks by 1 hex.
What the?
He's eating my. He's eating my vines.
Probably
Stop him.
powering him up or some shit too.
Fucking better not.
It is your turn, Quaylen.
What kind of pack-a-punch bullshit is this?
This guy's eating vines and shitting out vines behind him.
For what it's worth, Cameron, you may want to do a fucking spellcraft check.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I forgot I could do those. I spellcraft check.
What could Yarmir calls out? Oh God, I
Right,
could
you
eat the
can go
vines and
there.
shit them out, and then you're like,
30.
wait a second, no,
Nat 20.
there might be science in this shit, or magic.
Science.
So I like
know
him
exactly
going,
what's going on.
Go ahead.
Yes, the bear has absolutely nothing to do with the vines growing behind him. That's like a trap. Somebody set this shit up, which makes you feel bad because they may have noticed you and skedaddled. That's your initial gut reaction. You have a big feeling that this entire thing is a diversion, but you're not sure if you want to leave a bear alone with a bunch of hostages.
Now we need to finish this quick.
Hot or sausages?
Hostages to you, sausages to the bear.
You can move like here, T-Pad, right?
Yeah. You can
Okay.
move in your own vines.
Go into the bathroom real quick.
I'll move here, and I'm just gonna set a wind wall up.
Is that for a 2-turn duration or 1?
Too.
Okay, so the bear still has it.
Let's see. Yeah, I'll just set wind wall up 10 feet in front of me. Yeah, and that turn.
That one's probably easier just to draw with a marker.
Yeah. Let's see.
I don't know if
5.
there's a
10.
good Yasuo wind wall without... You can probably, I can give you a token for it if you want in the future, just so you can put one down, but...
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I'm drawing it right now. 5, 10, 15, 20.
Yeah, there's a wind wall puts up in the middle of that, just throwing all your stuff at this guy. Before it is T-Pav's turn.
That only stops enemy stuff, right? Yeah, enemy. Okay.
hostile projectiles.
Right. So, how do we want to deal with it?
We just kill it
'Cause I-
as fast
I
as we
can-
can.
I can tug it into the roots. Do we care about its positioning being there?
No, Cameron's
think
gonna
that's
hit it no matter what. So go for it.
All right. I'm gonna auto hit Tugging Breeze, the bear.
Tugging Breeze has a limitation of one size greater than you, which is good because the bear is indeed exactly one size greater than you.
I'm Lorgo.
What's a
As-
logo?
As the
Large.
The rhino just lifts his hand out. And this is new to everybody because nobody has seen the rhino fight yet. As he just puts his hand out in front of him, and a gust of wind just starts, and the bear just gets moved towards you guys, and you're all like panicking because why the fuck is a multi-ton bear just barreling at you now?
I want to make it very clear. I am confused as shit about what the fuck this rhino is.
I
He's
mean-
sneaky.
Yes.
He has wind magic. I thought he was just gonna swing axe good.
Well, now he is.
The bear seems confused too as he gets his front paws wrapped in the entanglement. Or might. We'll have to check on his turn, but
Is the bear's name Jada Pinkett Smith? Get it?
entangling roots.
Should I just try and hit this thing super hard?
Do whatever you want. Whether it's go for it.
All right.
Also, as you drag him along, the vines seem to still grow behind it.
Okay.
Seems to grow as their moves.
Yes.
Oh, I did not
That's
catch on to that.
Does Holy... Actually, let me think about something real quick.
And this is just their pet, so does holy what?
I'm back.
Nothing.
Welcome
You
back.
haven't missed your turn. T-Pab just yanked the bear into everyone's face, though.
Now he's deciding how hard he wants to hit the bear.
Yeah, I am deciding how bad I want to hurt my...
Wait,
How do these
you
vines
get to,
function? Can we walk through them?
Yep.
The
It's enemies only.
Nice.
It's not like Grease. In fact, it's basically just a strict upgrade over Grease.
Grease is cool though.
Who's got that scroll of fireball, by the way? Not fire, whatever.
I think
we have 3 schools of, or like spell shards of Phoenix Wave. I don't think we need one
I have
here.
an
But,
assortment of level 1 bolt spells.
oh
Level
yeah,
bolt magic
I
missile
think we're
spell
about to
things.
murk this thing, so I'm
Yeah,
about to
just-
hit with the nastiest holy of all time.
Just in the future, in case we need to burn through some dryad.
yeah.
Be bullshit.
I'm just going to try and burn this thing down. I'm going to do a 5 times weapon damage reckless.
Okay, that's an auto hit because you just yanked it.
Yes. So this is it. Wow, that rolled really low. And then
That's pretty
This is-
typical.
this is 2. The self damage also explodes, right?
Yes.
Figured. That's to me.
I guess you're right. That's a little bit low. It's supposed to be 84.
Yeah, that's very low. Yeah, that's very low. I got cucked. It's okay.
84. That's a loss of 7 damage. That's fine.
Yeah, as the rhino hits himself very hard. And this thing, combined with Zach's 81 before, is bloody. Alright, Cameron, unleash the holy.
I unleash the holy, and I used to have a button for this.
You obviously hit everyone and the bear 2 times.
Where is it? Holy, 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 holy.
Hey, we both did 77 damage.
77, but Cameron has it's an AoE, so it hits it twice.
Yeah, I think it's dead.
So it knocks it very bloody.
Oh wow, I'm surprised I didn't kill it.
It's almost.
Oh,
Everybody's buffed
yeah.
now, right?
Yeah, we're all buffed. Yeah, Yarmir is about to just.
Yeah, he's about
Destroy
to
it.
just fucking one-shot the thing in the
That's a good
forehead
point.
now.
It needs to know if it's seen Yarmir for sneak. Yarmir, you rolled the 26 before, was it?
Correct.
It does not see you.
Damn, we are mixing this dude's shit up.
Mix your shit up.
Please.
Alright, as a giant wave goes through and the bear is blinded and also really, really hurt. As you can see, It basically
They
ate
call
that,
my dick the egg beater. I'm sorry, I couldn't
you
stop.
know, Zack stabbed it in its mouth before when it bit Zack's hand. So it's got a lot of blood coming out there, and then like T-Bab just bonked it on its head. So its like ear is like almost, you know, it's flapping around a lot. And then the holy comes through and like its entire face, like the fur is gone. The flesh underneath is reduced to weird bony appenditures. And like you're not even sure if it really has skin as much as it's got this weird flesh growth on it. Like the dire beasts are fucking scary. It's got like rocks
Interesting.
growing out of it and like growths.
It's pretty sick.
Yeah, this is like a bear skull just staring at you, rather than like a bear with like flesh and flaps on its face. But the skull is moving, so it's pretty spoopy. All right, Yaramir, you want to ride this thing like a pony and stab it in its head, please, so we can not be distracted by the distracting bear?
Can I go for the liver instead?
Sure. I mean, you gotta move to its side and stab it, basically, is what you're trying.
Yes.
All right, sneak attack. You're using your load, or no?
I will cold blood dispatch.
Okay, roll your to hit, or rather, roll your confirmed to crit. I think you only fail on like a 1 or something.
Yeah, it's just a 1 now.
Why would you summon it?
Don't jinx it.
Why'd you summon that one on him like that?
They absolutely did just summon that one on me.
So that threatens, and now you confirm, or does it auto-confirm? I can't remember how this works now.
It auto confirms. Because it's a 4 to 6. Dispatch makes it 2 to 6. Cold blood makes 1 to 6 confirm.
Yeah. As you manage to critically strike in the side of the bear.
Oh, wait, Baby did something?
He actually
That's
crit
not
this time.
flame. That's not flame. That's me being happy for
Oh,
him.
goddamn.
Yeah, that's my boy.
As you stab it into the side, into its liver, and gouge down hard, as you find its skin is much tougher than you'd expect it to be. But
The Liver King.
in the status that it's currently in, that doesn't mean much as you kind of rip its whole flank open. And then it goes to try to swipe at you weakly in its turn, only to realize that, like, it doesn't have muscles there to turn. So it kind of just, like, teeters and crops itself up against the wall, and roars at you weakly as it is bleeding out, kind of propping itself up against the wall. Still in bleed out turns, though. As the blood spills out, Yarmir, you are surprised to see that where its blood touches, it glows blue, and you recognize that kind of thing. You think this thing's empowered by the moon.
Is this Mother Bear?
I don't think this is Mother
This was their
Bear.
I think
pet.
this is a pet. I think
Yeah,
Mother
yeah.
Bear's a druid.
Something's wrong with this thing, JP, and you recognize that blood effect.
Oh no.
It's your turn, Quaylen.
Well, am I seeing it's still alive? Like I can do stuff to it still?
Well, it's bleeding out. It's not dead. It's just propped itself up against the wall, and it hit its turn. It was basically the flavor of this happened. JP ripped its side open. It tried to go to bite JP or nip at him, only to realize I don't have insides, and then it just propped itself against the wall, and it's in the process of its insides falling out. So it's in the process of bleeding out. And Yarmir probably calls out the blood or something to that effect. But it is your turn.
If I think it's still a threat, I'd Severing Squall it.
Yeah, you double tap.
Yeah.
As you use a Severing Squall and poke at its neck, only for the head to come, basically clean off, and the squirming to stop, and the bear to kind of splay out in all fours. The same bluish effect would happen on the blood, as T-Pav, your plants seem to enjoy this, as they, get soaked in the blood for a moment before illuminating bluish.
Can I take a sample with an alchemy bottle?
Neat. You take the sample of the blood.
And a sample of my plant, but I think that goes away,
That goes
doesn't
away,
it?
yeah.
That feels, yeah.
Can we get a spellcraft check from Cameron about this? Or is the most applicable check for this?
Wait, is it not covered by my previous check?
Well, the previous check was
Oh, okay.
something's wrong with its blood, is what JP just noticed. So, probably magical creatures, I'm guessing, would probably be best. Arcana of some kind, for sure.
That was my magical creatures.
I'm trying to decide if it's magical creatures or Arcana.
Oh,
I think
okay.
it's Arcana because it's an effect rather than this bear being special.
All right. right.
Um,
roll again.
you're
What?
pretty
Or do you
sh-
just want to take it off?
I'll just take the 10 off.
Okay.
You're pretty sure that whatever happened here, this bear was at one point empowered, and maybe it was tied to why it became dire, or maybe it's just enhancement on top of the fact that it was dire. But it definitely has got some extra oomph going on from Druidic. Maybe that ties into why it was triggering roots behind it, or maybe that is something else entirely to do with, the distraction ploy, but this blood is definitely weird. T-Pav,
Yes.
roll me a... we'll do a passive luck.
Oh, okay. That's a 1d4, isn't it?
Yep, and you have to roll above your luck.
It didn't work.
You failed to roll above your luck. Nothing seems to be occurring from this.
Okay.
Do the roots that came from behind him, are they withering or anything?
Nope. They seem just as annoying, although they aren't advancing anymore.
Did some of them not get destroyed by my holy?
They aren't units.
Oh, okay.
I guess
That's fair
terrain
enough.
can be, but I was assuming you were aiming it up at the bear's face more than the ground behind him.
Yeah, I was. It's just I wasn't sure if I got some collateral shit.
I'd begin to tend my wounds.
Yeah, that bramble down here seems to be just the same annoying bramble as it is topside. The stuff that makes it take forever to go anywhere for you.
If it's the same bramble topside, I think I'll ask real quick for a heal from Karen. Is the heal reduction still on?
Falls off after 2 turns.
Can we get a rest
Okay.
mark
This
here,
this
Cameron?
thing is dead for sure, right?
Its head came
Yeah.
off, so I think so.
Okay. Yeah, I respite directly onto Quaylen, you stand in the middle.
Yeah, I mean, doing it AoE, it hits T-Pav for 2 times. It hits me for 1. We should be good to go.
Okay. Heal an ally within 10 feet. Yeah, so we should be fine.
Much healing.
Oh, that's a great question. It is 2d6 plus charisma over 3. So that my charisma currently is 13. So we go down to 4. 2d6 plus 4.
Your charisma is more than 13.
Maybe I'm looking at it wrong. Character sheet. Levels.
You're level 7 now. I thought
Oh,
it'd
it's
be at least
18.
18.
I was
yeah.
looking at con.
So it would be 2 more on top of that. So you heal for 15. T-Pav, you're 2 wide, so you heal for 30.
Oh, I'm full health then. Nice.
I'm down by 3. I use my dancing winds to get over this. If it's the same as topside, it seems, and take a look at what's on the other side.
No reaction to the fact that the rhino used wind magic, by the way.
No, I would ask.
I'm figuring out where you think this is a trap, so I'm going back here to see where
make
an
sure they're not
escape might have
escaping.
happened or something.
What are you doing? You using your move fast ability, I'm assuming?
Yeah, if I identify it's the same as topside, I'd use that to get over this without a problem.
As you move over and see a small side den, the place you think the bear was, as well as a path deeper, or rather further into the cave, which the rest of the party would not be able to follow if you go down. At least not at any real time. The rangers seem surprised to see you, especially with how you guys basically just 2-turned a bear.
Is this one in is this a hostile here?
That is a ranger. You're guessing that this is the leader ranger that the dude was signing about before.
Oh,
Oh, I was thinking their leader was in here. I'm stupid.
You aren't sure why, but it looks like they gave up all of their prisoners without a fight 2 days before midnight. Or rather, moonrise. Which does not inspire confidence. This inspires questions.
Yeah. So it's down this way. That's deeper in that.
Yep, further off the map.
I'll give a sigh and turn to the ranger leader here and say hello and ask if he knows where they went.
Oh, no, that's the wrong music to play again. Oh,
You asked the wrong question. Combat again.
combat with the crippled ranger. He gets... Yeah, we're back to the call music again.
He's a 1 health unkillable rage barb. Good luck.
I feel like we should go back to the Moonchild, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's the right answer, and we need to move quickly.
Yeah, you guys do your. I'm easily going to be able to catch up. I'm seeing what he knows and we'll go
Yeah,
from
but
there.
what about the
Yeah.
prisoners about to wolf out?
He would...
They got 2
Well,
days.
that's 2 days, so...
He would begin seeing you by, looking around in a bit of confusion before reaching up to his ears and pulling out what appears to be a couple of pieces of wool or something had stuffed up there. A clever move as not to be deafened, it seems.
They're loud.
Before he would open his mouth and close it a few times to pop his ears, assumedly. Before he would, ask you to repeat what you just said.
I'll give him a nod and say, hello. Do you know who was here and where they went? We took care of the bear, but obviously those who were here are no longer here.
That depends. Did you
On what?
Did you steal that sword from Shalendra, or did she send you?
She sent us. We're working with...
That is the right answer, he would reply. Yes, there's a lot to discuss. There are druids that were here until recently. They heard you moving about and talking, and they've been putting a lot together.
What's their... oh, never mind. I'm not there.
I'd love to share the details, but, is there anything you can do about this before? He would grimace a bit before he would reveal, the most horrific wound you've seen on a leg thus far, as it looks like they've basically flayed away his shin.
I assume you're a werewolf too, then.
Oh yeah. About the only way that I would survive this.
We have 2 options for you. We have a cure, so we can let you turn and then cure you after, and this can be healed, or we might have a healer who can do something, and we can administer the cure for your werewolfism, but you may not go back to what you once were with your knee. Do you want us? I mean, we can have him take a look at it.
Yeah, I'd prefer that. I don't want to give you a debriefing while in agony. Don't mind. If you could. I can't be moved in this condition, I don't think, either, so...
Yeah, I'll yell over. Reiner, we need your help.
How fucked up am I about to get walking over this stuff?
You walk over it, and it is just slow, but it's not painful. It's the same brambles it is topside. It's meant to slow you and make it so you can't probably follow. Unless you're a bunny who wants to solo mission it. And the bunny is probably interested in this guy's info more than he is in going in a 2v1.
I don't go anywhere fast. Can I part this dire bear out for alchemy parts?
Yeah, T-Bev and JP just look at the other two like just that one on ahead, and then look at the big old bear and nod at each other, because JP can skin it and you can look for alchemy stuff.
And yeah, I'm not going on a solo mission. No, if I knew what I was up against, maybe. I'm not going on a solo mission.
So that's +7 for alchemy, right?
And +6 for butchery for JP.
All right, I'm gonna auto 15 this.
6.
So 22.
Womp womp.
You get,
Womp
what is the minimum? So you did hit the DC. You didn't fail the check, JP. You did hit minimum. Minimum is 2 tier 2 leather.
Hey, could be worse.
Yeah, you got the bear hide. And then T-Bav rolled a 22. Interesting alchemical reagents. You get, you rolled above a 20. You get one of its unique glands. Would you like its durability one, or would you like its the anti-heal one? The glands are really useful for making unique potions. Most of the time you just imbue the potion with the effect. So do you want the anti-heal or do you want a durability one? Normally I would just roll it a 1d2, but I don't give a shit. You can pick one.
I think I kind of like the anti-heal one. What do you guys think?
Yeah, whichever you want.
Anti-heal is always useful.
Yeah, anti-heal gland. We can make like a poison for JP Claws or some shit.
You take out the infectious, his all of the bear teeth are just like covered in rancid with something, and you look up and like go into its gum line and jaws, and you see that there's like these weird viscous pouches that looks like it's storing bacteria and all sorts of nasty goop in.
Delicious. I take them.
What a peculiar mutation for this thing to grab. And otherwise, you get a bunch of common ones. So, what's a common one for bears? Not much for bears. Just go to the wolf one. Yeah, we'll just say you get something suitable for a strength potion, tier 1. Some of their teeth or claws.
Yeah. I just wrote strength potion tier 1 mats.
Yeah, typically you get, you want to hunt these dire bears and dire anything for their glands. And
Yeah, so I got the good thing.
You get one of the good ones, yeah. If you rolled higher, you could get both of them, or all
Right.
if they had more. This one was a lesser dire creature, only had 2 mutations. Dire creatures, the longer they live, the more mutations they have. But, anyway. I think that covers butchery. Nobody else can handle anything else from it. Unless... Yeah, I guess you could rune catch the blood. Cameron, no one's rune catching. Cameron's a herbalist as well, so no.
Yep. I don't even remember what the fuck rune catching is.
Disenchanting. As Cameron, you look over the wound and see that it is indeed the most severe one you have, and this would be at the edge of your capabilities to heal perfectly. You think you could get him out of like the, maimed and crippled for his life category pretty reliably. You can look at T-Pev's Barbarian page for what these ones are, but you're pretty sure that if you leave it in this condition, like that leg's coming off for sure, and like he's probably having some lifelong complication. You think you can take it down to the pretty serious category very reliably. You think getting it to like the mild cripplement category is within your range, but you think like fully healing it would be like the very edge of your capability.
Gotcha.
So that's your assessment of this, and now you can attempt to perform the check. So you always do a basically a medicine investigation check, and then you do the actual heal check. So you have a good idea of your DCs and like the condition of the body.
Okay,
Looks like
so
they messed up one of his legs very badly compared to the rest. The rest of the Rangers, that is, even.
I put my first check up there. Does that is that the assessment?
Yep,
Then
the 27 is the assessment. So you have you have a pretty strong assessment. Yep, that's some pretty gnarly torn up flesh. It's already got a little bit of problem going in. Yeah, and as you go into it, just for the record as well, good assessments also help your capability of healing it too. So it's not like your 27 is purely just to see like, oh yes, he is fucked. It's also of basically how good is your surgery skill for this particular injury. So that's why I said, you've got a good technique. You think even with a pretty typical roll, you'd be able to get him down a category. As you manage to do your best to salvage this thing. Piece by piece, mended flesh by mended flesh, you put bone back to tendon, and then tendon back to skin. This process is burning, but not necessarily like painful, which is different from all the rest of the healing ones. Most of the other heal checks are a little bit painful to the patient as they're going through it. But he, as he was talking to Zach and carrying on a normal conversation before, seems to be made of fairly stern stuff to begin with. As
good
he
to
would
know.
look away and kind of grit his teeth as you go through the, somewhat, mildly little stinging bits here and there. As you're working on the middle parts, those go fairly well, obviously, because there's not much going on there in the actual flesh. But the bits put on by his ankle and the bits up by his knee, those are the fiddly parts that require a lot of finesse to do. And while you think you did a pretty decent job at the ankle level, the part near the patella gets a little bit weird with all of the ligaments and cartilage and whatnot. And it looks like he's already suffered quite a bit of, infection in some of those internal vesicles. So you're left with no real other choice with your current skill. You don't think you can regenerate the cartilage perfectly. That didn't seem to be in the cards. So you're left with no other skill than to kind of do your best, remove what it can, and leave him probably with arthritis for the rest of his life. But
I am very happy with just that.
yeah, you kind of have to just throw out the baby with the bathwater, remove a bunch of cartilage from his knee when you sew it up. As he's not going to be able to probably do any rangering for the rest of his life, but he'll at least have some use out of the knee.
My character likes to talk, so I'm kind of thinking out loud and explaining my thought process while this is happening. I'm giving him a more, using some bedside manner to kind of keep the more morbid stuff from him, even though I'm sure he can handle it. But I basically explain, this is where I think you're going to end up better off, but still not perfect, etc.
Yep, as you manage to mend piece by piece. Before, he would look and would say, "Alright, that's good to not have searing pain at the bottom of my foot anymore." As he would make a couple motions with it and be amazed at the fact that in the course of 5 minutes, you've basically just undid a mortal wound in any other context. Before, he would kind of kick with it a few times and wince a little bit at the lack of cushion in his knee. Before, he would say, "Alright, and you said you had an option to get rid of the vampirism, or not vampirism, sorry, the werewolfism?"
Yeah.
Lycanthropy?
Lycanthropy. We do, and I turn to Quaylen, because you have some of it on you, don't you? Weren't you the one holding it?
Yeah, I have some. I don't know if I have all of it or we all have a little, but yeah, we have that as an option.
Then I would ask for whatever bit you can grab and then try to administer it.
He would pause as you present him with the salve before nodding and trying to stand up a bit, as he hasn't probably stood up in a while, so he's a little bit off kilter from that, but not from your healing or anything. As he would say, "Yeah, I don't think I would. Well, I think the werewolf might help patch some of this up more. I don't think it's worth the risk. I don't want to be killed by the Rangers after all when we go out there." He would kind of reach out for the salve if you're offering it.
Yeah, we'll give it.
As he takes the salve and begins wiping it down on himself. It doesn't really seem to do much aside from soak into his skin, and he doesn't have any immediate effect, as it would take a little while for it to kick in, but he trusts you that it does what it says in the tin. Before, he would sigh and say, "Alright, you'll have to forgive me for a moment, but I just want to double check something." As he would go about and do some weird motions, like clenching with his fist and grabbing around at his knee and checking things out, and then would suddenly, out of nowhere, just slap himself in the face and would say, "Okay, it looks like this is real and not something I cooked up because the pain."
I'm not sure if it's fortunate or unfortunate. This is very real. We need to know everything you know so that we can go and intercept them. Do you know what they're going to do with the child?
First things first. I'm Welleth. You're from Shalendra, right?
Yes.
Okay.
We approached her and said we heard these rumors from it's called an Elder Dryad, right? I would know that in character, but
Yeah, from an Elder Dryad, as you begin to explain your druidism
Yeah.
tale to him.
and then but I give him like a shortened or abridged version. Like basically, we heard this, we went to her, we told her we could help. She was wary at first, but agreed to help us after we told her about our abilities and what we knew. So here we are.
He would seem impatient, understandably, as you guys are both trying to share as much information with each other as quickly as you can. Before he would go on his, somewhat disconnected, timelines towards it. As he would say, okay, so, next one, he would say, oh god, I gotta start from, alright. These guys like to talk. I was near them. I kind of got the hang of it because I was a druid at one point when I was growing up, and learned a little bit of this, and I can speak a little bit of druidic enough to be dangerous when they were near me, and I don't think they knew that.
He went through a druid phase.
It's
Grew out
not-
of it.
It was just a phase, Mom.
Okay. So, most importantly for Shalendra, she doesn't want to take the fight. Whatever she's doing with the werewolves on that ridge, it will be bad this time.
Why is this time different?
This is the flowering moon. You're not a druid, you probably don't know what that means.
Can I roll a lore check or an arcana check to see if I can impress him?
Yep,
Which one would you prefer?
that would be a
Third.
lore druidic.
Please roll a 1 so you say, I'll flower your moon.
17.
Damn it.
Not this time.
You knew that the moons have a name? Like, that's a thing in, like... each full moon has its own name, which is kind of a big deal in the saloon deal. Or rather, just any of the Nyx worship. That each full moon in itself, like, every year, has a name. And that there are, exactly... there are exactly 12 full moons in a year in Novan, because it's exactly...
T-Pav, you're fucking with your mic.
Sorry.
Yeah, there's exactly 12 full moons in a year in Novan, and that is, I fixed that, basically. You can call that a patch from God. But there's 364 days in Novan, so there's exactly the amount of, exact lunar calendar. As you would say that there are, it's important for them that there are different moons that signify different things, and on the first moon that we came out here, with that whole thing, it was the wolf moon. And the flowering moon, if I remember right, is important because it does something with, like, their potential. Just like how the wolf moon, they were especially strong and they kicked our asses. They have a tree lady with them, and I think she'll be a problem on the flowering moon.
Okay, why this tree lady, she doesn't seem to be...
With them all the time. No, she's not... Okay, this is hard to explain.
She's multiple places at once because of her ability to connect with trees?
No, oh no, that maybe, but that would be horrifying.
Yes. Hence my horror.
No, I don't think she does that, but I was trying to say is that they're doing a weird ritual. And you seem like you kind of know what's going on with druidism, so I'll try to explain it at the high level first, and if you don't get it, I'll do
Go
my
back.
best, but like, we don't have
Fair
any
enough.
expert druids out here to really suss out this detail for you. But they are trying to create, the werewolf.
The werewolf. So
Yes.
you guys are imperfect experiments.
All werewolves that you know of are imperfect. The werewolf is the real one from Saloon.
I do not know the difference.
Yeah, most people don't. I think that's what they're doing. So they've been gathering up a bunch of resources. They said they got some relics or antiquities that they're messing with to try to break them down and gather something somewhere. Gathering moonlight is what they kept on saying. But supposedly this one's going to be a one for some reason. The Flowering Night is what they've been calling it.
I hope we cucked them by stealing the shield. Sorry.
I'm right there with you. Josh.
What?
Maybe that wasn't actually water in the sheet part of the cave. Maybe that was like a weird condensed moonlight.
I don't think so.
Who knows?
Yeah, as he would describe, saying that there's a weird ritual. They're trying to make the werewolf. They've been gathering stuff, and this moon is going to be a doozy.
I think we need to control the Moonchild. Cure all these people. Sorry about their damages, but I don't think we can let them slip away with her. We need to go control that area like ASAP.
Immediately, yes. But I say we're in a hurry. This is the plan. What is the? I am still. I have not put it together myself. What is their plan with the child? What is she? How does she fit into this creating the werewolf? I know she makes the plants with her blood, but
that's new. That's not normal. Elaborate.
Well, she told my friend, or she was talking to my friend. Didn't she make herself bleed with her mouth?
She
or
is the
something?
daughter of the three of them. She said
Yes.
her parents are. She's the father wolf, mother bear, and cousin tree. She was not expecting her childhood from sickness and is slowly getting better. She was placed up in a tree with silver around to protect her from a few werewolves. And when she bleeds, she creates a high tier plant, which attracts
Moon Widow.
I
Moon
explained
Widow.
exactly what she did though by like smearing her blood on the wall, and then the area around where she grew the plant with her blood deteriorating. So I give that detail specifically as well.
You get the Moonchild music again.
I do like this song.
Where to go? I have to play everything in the YouTube because it lags when I listen to it in this because my internet's kind of fucky. As he began describing these characteristics of the Moonchild to him, you could definitely see him processing as he would say, okay, so that makes a few things make sense, I guess, from my end, because that doesn't sound like a normal child, and they weren't talking about her like a normal child. They were talking like they're servants to that child. So
Okay.
I thought it was like a fae or something, which it could be. Most normal children can't do that.
I would agree.
He would consider this and do a lore check.
You want me to do a lore check?
He would do a lore check
Okay.
with his druidic specialization. Nope, nothing.
It's not a phase, Mom.
Right.
It was a phase.
I mean,
Phase up.
druid turning into ranger isn't exactly that far of a shift.
Yeah.
Ow, my fucking knee. Holy shit, what a pop.
Yeah, his words exactly.
Yeah, he doesn't understand though. I lift heavy boxes. He's just maimed and crippled. Formerly.
Yeah, as he would wander a little bit, getting used to his knee, and would say, all right, I'm coming up with nothing, but this definitely seems like it's something very significant that we're missing out on. I agree.
Yes, which is why I keep asking about her.
So-
Not to rush you through your stuff. That's just...
Yeah, what else do you have to tell us?
Okay. About what they've been doing here. They'd gathered artifacts. They came from someplace far away. If I had to guess, it sounds like they came from the Deep Woods, which is like the old ancestral home of the Far Elves. It's far north of here, north of the Giant Lands. Why they came here is a mystery to me, but you mentioned there was an Elder Dryad?
Yes.
Maybe they are attracted to its power somehow, but he would kind of shrug, just throwing that suggestion out as if, kind of...
Well, they've been stealing her resources.
So,
Maybe they identified that this area was losing its protection from regular druids and came to take advantage of that. Maybe they already knew that the druids were weakening here, or maybe they're the reason the druids are weakening here. Rather, it could be a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, it sounds like this could have been a problem for druids, but I've been out of town for a few months, but I'm guessing relations are still pretty icy over there, right?
Yeah, we should have.
Yes.
Fucking druids.
We tried not to get too wrapped up in the politics of the area. It's not our specialty.
Yeah,
We wanted to come in. We wanted as much time to help you guys as possible.
He would, he's not saying this to disparage you, I would say, just to begin with this.
Yeah.
Because he would kind of comment saying, well, and we see where that gets us. Kind of disparaging the situation rather than you guys not helping. He's disparaging that. Well, that's, well, ain't that great. They can't help this. Before he would say, so we're on our own, and I guess, well, with you. Some of these people aren't going to be as dedicated to the cause as me. They're going to have problems with their limbs like this. So, if it's my choice, I'd say that leaving them to rampage is going to end up with them probably more hurt than otherwise. So, force them to take the self is what I'm saying.
Yep.
Yeah, we can do that. But anything else important to share?
Yeah, he would comment and say, the bear and the wolf, they're keepers of some kind. They can shapeshift obviously into a bear and a wolf. They're pretty powerful ones at that. Like, way more powerful than any of the druids I saw back in town. I don't know why they came here, but they came here with a mission, clearly. I wouldn't want you guys to get caught in one-on-one. Maybe you could live, but they're pretty fierce combatants. Don't go wandering alone. Well, you saw the first time when they met the werewolves. Oh, yeah, that's another thing. Oh, yeah, that's another thing. He would comment and say, so, I got taken prisoner 5 months ago, back on the Wolf Moon, like I was saying. We took out that dire creature, and then the werewolves came out to fight. 4 of them. Now, I say there were 4, and there were 4, but only one of them really fought us, and beat basically every ranger down. Took 3 of us hostage, even. Werewolf or lycanthropy, like, it doesn't just make you a certain power, it makes you stronger than you were before. And those people, those druids, when they're in lycanthropy, they are even more powerful. I don't know how they did it, but they seem to at least have some control, because only one of them followed us and, beat us down that first day. Everything else that she's been facing, Shalendra, in that canyon, has just been us that have been changed. These druids, they don't fight in lycanthropy form normally. I think that's why I'm saying things might get bad.
I would expect them to join the fight this time.
Yeah, and if at all possible, I'd say you want to take out one or both of them before they get to transform.
That's what we're hoping to be able to do here, but
Yeah.
we took too long back there and they escaped. And I mean, we took out their pet, but they're gone. And obviously I can traverse these vines easily myself, but I'm not gonna go rushing that way by myself.
All right. I know this is going to sound callous for a moment, but they're clearly going all in on this. If they are putting their own lives against all of these hostages, I think it's clear that, or at least there's a good indication that they're going to go out themselves this time. Because they've just been sending everybody else out here for the last few months.
Yeah.
If you are going to get them before they can transform and become powerful, I'm thinking the only way you could do it is by disrupting the rituals somehow. Even if that means, dragging out the kid and trying to get them to fight you.
You said that they seem to be servants to this kid?
That's the way they've been talking. It's weird in Druidism, but yeah, they speak of her as if, the same way that the Druid companions would speak of their master.
Okay. Interesting. And do you know where these rituals are taking place?
No.
I assume
but
you're
you
mentioning
said you found them.
we found them. We found the child where they're doing these rituals. We
Oh.
just we heard that there's cages
If you have the
east and a little
child,
south of here. That's it.
if you have the child, they can't really do the ritual without it.
Yeah. So, well, that's the wonderful question of we can use the child as bait, but will they just wait for their
We have to go.
We just need
lycanthropy
a
transformation?
child.
Yeah, I think we need to go to the child and figure out our plan from there. More than likely, they might be going to her or going around, but I think we need to do something with her. I hate to use the child as bait, but a town might be run over, town and more might be run over by this, so...
Murder the child.
You can do a sense motive check on him.
Yeah, that's Cameron's.
I mean, okay, yeah. Does he really want to kill the kid? Because I don't really want to kill the kid.
Yeah, you're getting some inclinations of, he clearly is hesitant to come out and say it, but, this whole context, you're getting vibes of him, getting close to saying the quiet part out loud of, and if you can't get to them or get them to show up, it may be better to, make sure they can't complete the ritual.
Yeah.
I would say our only option is to stop them directly. We'll go to the kid, and if they need her for the ritual, then they'll have to go through us.
Yeah, and if they decide to eat until they transform on the full moon, that's a bridge we have a day and a half to figure out what we're going to do.
Then we have silver as a slight bump.
If we want to risk that type of fight, we do, yeah.
Alright, and in the meantime, I think you should try to heal me and my rangers, my boys. They will take the salve without issue. I can order them, and they're dedicated enough. If one of them's in better condition than me, I'll have them run out to the camp or whatever Shalendra's got and warn them to stay away.
I nod, and then
It's gonna get bad.
it's gonna get real bad.
Okay. You go cure them.
Just those 3 failed spot checks didn't help.
Gotta love it.
Yep. Okay.
That's unfair, Josh. Why do our bad rolls have to dictate what happens?
Okay. Reiner, you go cure those 2. I'll explore right here to see if there's anything else necessary here that can give us anything that they might have left in this area. We'll move the ranger leader over, give the 2 at least rangers the cure, and if anything, we just leave the cures with these ranger leaders to give the rest while we go back to the moonshine.
All right, Cameron, would you like to spend time to cure the rangers or cure everyone? Curing everyone will sap time.
I would like to cure everybody.
Is the rest of the party going to stop him from put the time forth for this?
I will say that if he's going to everyone, the 3 of us are leaving him to the Moonchild. We don't have that time. If you want to cure the 2 rangers, we can stay. If you're staying for everyone, we have to leave you behind.
That's fine.
As you guys are doing this, the ranger captain, or rather sub-captain, Welleth, would go about and start collecting weapons from the torture racks. It seems like the eclectic mix was from everyone, as he would go about as you guys are getting everything ready, and basically hand it out to the people and announce that they are being saved and that they are to protect the healer at all cost if any of the druids show back up. And Welleth is going to, stand guard with you. So if one of the druids does show up to gank you, he's trying to throw down with that. You have at least some assurance or help. As the rest of the party skedaddles, are you searching? You said you're searching up here, Zach?
So is there any what setup do we need to keep in contact with Cameron at the same time? Is there a master servant thing? Who do we want to listen to?
I take the mouthpiece. You guys take
yes.
the
Cameron
ear.
takes the mouthpiece. I take the ear,
Okay.
so he can share anything
Right,
with us.
if he yells, you can be there in lickety
I can
split
be there.
time
Yeah, exactly.
with your lightning potion.
It's more that tells us what's happening here,
Right.
something goes bad, than us telling him.
Yep.
Lightning potion's only 5 rounds. I don't think you can run a mile in 5 rounds, and Cameron might be dead in 5 rounds.
Look, we don't tell Cameron that.
Yeah.
Why hurt his
Cameron
My character knows the risk. It wouldn't.
Cameron has a lot of CC to stop them from moving towards him. There's a chance.
He could buff up the shitters pretty well. What's your stat boost? You grant?
Not that. I
Isn't it
grant
5
plenty, but
or
not that
4?
much.
It's
Charisma over 4, so I have 28.
All right.
Which... No, I don't have 28 charisma. I have
18 against 4 to
Yes,
that.
you had Cameron a bunch of salves, and Zach, you said you're exploring the back cave here, see if they left anything.
Yeah.
So roll me a spot. This is probably the closest thing to a search. Looking around, the place is hastily packed up. So there's food and some supplies left over. But as you are looking at it, you can tell that they took important reagents with them, judging by some of the alchemical stuff. Like, you can smell, like, some of the reagents here. So there's dust and flowers, very similar to, like, the residue you saw. You were the one who retrieved it from the acid cave, right? With your armor?
Yeah.
So, very similar to that sort of deal. They clearly have some reagent with them, doing whatever God knows what. But they've got a ritual planned. You don't know the specifics, but they clearly have some reagent planned, which means there's probably a ritual place. I'm not sure if they retrieved the child, or if they go and do it separately from the child, or what, but they clearly took stuff with them. That would probably be critical for it. They didn't leave any notes, but they definitely left evidence of them being here, and leads indication of, like, whoever put that thing in the vat of acid was probably these people.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, and we had no idea what the moon pendant was or is. So
The what?
we got the moon is what we got out of that, right?
Yeah, you've got 2 holy symbols right now of 2 separate moon things. One of them is the Lupine Lord, and the other one is Saloon.
Yeah.
The Saloon was on T-Bev's shield. The Lupine Lord was a necklace that Cameron's holding on to.
Yeah, so we know they probably put that there. We just don't know what the significance is. Okay, and Cameron's healing all of them. The 3 of us, after doing this, should head to the Moonchild.
All right, as you guys split apart from each other. Cameron, as you are healing, we're going to roll this in batches, and also you are going to roll me an intelligence check for something that you guys did that I don't think you remember.
My int is 28. So, plus 28. 47. I'm wicked smart.
Yeah, this book that you picked up earlier, you may want to show it to the ranger guys soon.
I show it to him, and I think to myself, like, oh, while I'm healing these people, do you know anything about this?
As you start waving the book, as he would look at it and get a weird look as he would say, yeah, that's the book they left by the torch. They forgot something. Throw it here.
I toss it to him, or I hand it to him if I can. But
Wait,
Yeah.
does that mean there's 2 copies of this book?
no, I think they've just forgotten.
He commented, "That's the book they have by their torturing thing. Oh, they forgot something." Is what he
Oh.
said, T-Bev.
So, but this is Cameron's copy of the book, right? Not, or did you find a book?
We found this book here.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, as he reads and tries to keep a lookout and ear out, basically, as you do the same, and you, for your part, the rest of the party, you get halfway there in your mile out through the brambles, and getting that sinking feeling of there could be 2 very powerful druids, looking for a kill shot on you. So you're marking in battle formation.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, potentially 3. We don't know where the third ever is.
Yeah, tree betch could be anywhere.
Prefer the term treasus.
All right, Cameron, you have a total of 6, 7, 8 heal checks to make.
Okay, and that's plus 14 each time.
I would
I'd like
just
to
roll
heal
8d20.
all combat people first.
Yeah, I would just roll 8d20 for assessment, and then we will do another 8d20 for healing. That way we don't have to spam the chat. Well, somebody's not having a great time in assessment, and somebody's having a great time. Alright, we will assign these clockwise, top to bottom. So we'll do bookwise. So you roll a 1 on one of the rangers, which is not good. Roll a 10. Hold on, I'm just going to write this out. No, I'll just remember it. 1, 10. Lady's not hurt. Second ranger rolled a 15, that's good. 17, 2, 10, 20, 10. Okay. Now, you didn't assess the upper ranger very well, so that's not going to be great for you. But you're healing both rangers and the 3 guards down there. The guards introduce themselves, now that they can talk, as belonging to that trader, so maybe they would have more info too, but they were guarding that caravan. And obviously the wife is the mistress of the caravan as well. But anyway, you've got all 8 of these identified to the best of your ability. But the first one, you don't really know what's going on. So you're going to be doing a bit of a blind surgery on him. Just doing your best to fix things.
Hopefully I compensate with a 20 on that.
Yep. As you do your best to do it in order of the most important to least important combatants.
Cameron has the salves in the way.
Yeah, I already mentioned that you gave him enough salves to cure everyone.
How many is that, so I can mark that on my sheet, just so I'm not cheating?
Should be 9.
Okay.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, because you already gave 1 salve. You already used 1 as well.
Right. I'm down to 4.
All right, Cameron. Moment of truth. You can roll your d20s for curing these people. The most severely injured are the rangers.
All right. Do you want me to add the modifiers or just flat 8 d20s?
Do d20s because I can do the modifiers. I know what the DCs are for the hard, the easy, and the light ones. So you roll the 30 after the 1. The top one, because you rolled fairly well in the heal, again, with how his knee was doing, the gangrenous one that your JP was doing sign language with, he's probably also going to have a hobble for his life, just like the ranger captain. Sorry, not captain, under captain, whatever you want to call him, lieutenant.
Exactly the right.
What?
That's exactly the right word.
Woohoo! Yeah. You think that you did your best to basically just pump heals into him, and it turned out better than you expected, because you weren't quite sure what exactly was going wrong there, but he's not complaining except for like a little bit of achiness, so that's good. Next one you heal basically back to normal, because it was a good identifying, it was a mild injury. Next one, the other ranger, you identified well and you healed very well. His lower ranger is thankfully basically fully healed. Like, he has probably like a click in his knee, but like he can run on it, which makes him the prime candidate to walk, run back to the ranger camps and handle it. Get the word out that you guys don't want to catch the smoke. Get out of here before midnight. So, they're still in cages, mind you, but maybe you can work together with this guy to try to pull him out later.
Yes.
I'll retroact that. Tarnok would probably break the cages before this bullshit.
That is a good thing. I did not think about that.
All right, Tarnok, you were walking around just punching cages.
Sir, Tarkog, thanks.
There you go.
That too.
Do you want some strength checks or no? I don't think they can resist me. I bought them all.
Well, you're a weak bitch, so.
Yeah, I'll break you too.
Yeah, I wish you would.
Yeah, I'm assuming you were doing it while everybody else, you were
Yeah.
butchering the animal and like you got bored at one point and just started
Yep,
breaking
I'll break
cages,
cages.
and then everybody else was like, "Good job," and you're like, "Oh, yes,
Yes.
this is exactly why I was breaking cages, not because I was bored." I mean, they can't really go anywhere because they got hobbled legs, so it's not like they're gonna run away if they don't want to get salved. As true to this word, you do indeed salve everybody before you heal them, and that's kind of your way of forcing them. If you're not going to get healed unless you get salved, and it doesn't seem, some of them offer resistance of like, because you don't have any guarantee that they're going to be able to be good again, but most of them are in no condition to resist, which is maybe a little bit feels bad. You offering medical care that they don't have a right to refuse to. Which could...
I've come to rescue you. Do not resist.
Stop resisting.
No guarantee. Maybe
Or
crippled
shoot
for
one for
this.
good
Sorry in
measure.
advance. And I will not be crippled if you let me become a werewolf. Yep. Let me become a werewolf. Nope.
Yeah, the option is potential cripple, potential fine, or death. You pick.
Yeah. None of them are offering too strong a resistance, but a few of them do put up the token, kind of like, there's no guarantees of this route. Can't you just like restrain me? And you're like, don't have time, don't have resource, blah blah blah. Bigger fish to fry. Sorry.
I'm here to clean up your mess. It's the least you can do.
All right. Next one was a mild injury, so this guy's left with a hobble. So I'm dividing them. This is the camp hobble. This is the camp, perfectly fine. Next one, 10 and a 7.
Is that the first 10 and 7 or the last 10 and 7?
First 10 and 7.
Okay.
So on the mild side, that hunter is just fine. All right. Wait, no, that was the 2. That's
the 2 and the 4 we haven't addressed yet.
Yeah, the 2 and the 4. That one's going to be a that one's going to be the upper side of the permanent limp. So just below like actually like having serious complications and like you can't use it, almost the edge of amputating. Like that one you barely salvaged. Only because it wasn't a bad injury in the first place. That was like your worst one. Gotten tired. Next one you focus up on a medium difficulty one. That one is crippled again. The 20 and the 17 is perfectly fine. And the 10 into a 7 is crippled. As most of these people end up not, crippled is a different way of saying it. They're arthritic.
Got it.
They could be better, but like given the state of the fact that they were just, on the ground, unable to move, and you go from that to you're probably gonna have arthritis for the rest of your life, but like you can move around on it and still probably hold the job. That's pretty good.
I'm happy with that.
4 out of 9 for no, sorry, it is 3 out of 9. And one of them a critical member to get right. As most of these guys are willing to take up arms under Wellith's direction and yours. As Wellith has been reading the book the whole time and passing out weapons. And the lady has freed as well, and she probably has stuff to say too. But for now, we'll leave this frozen as we go, I think, to finish out the session with the other group. But you've got more info coming your way from the caravan people and Wellith.
Got it.
Oh, sorry, you weren't on the right map the whole time. You're in the cave.
No, but that's okay.
So, Now we'll go back to the people of John Maddenland. So, as Cameron's character Rainer, I can reveal this on the GM layer. This can go to map layer. Which doesn't help because he's on top of it. Yeah, trapdoor.
I was trying to move it, so that's not my token.
Yeah, you got the weird crap going on.
Yep.
As you guys move along, doing your best to keep an eye out for any would-be attackers. And along the way, you have a couple of close calls where maybe it's just your eyes looking at shadows, or maybe it's the fact that there's druids and they could have eyes anywhere with all these forest creatures around. But you pause a few times and basically ready yourself for initiative because you think you're pretty sure you heard something, only for it to either back away at the last second or, well, maybe there's nothing there in the first place, but you're definitely on edge. Until, after 2 agonizing hiking miles up this, route up to the tree again, you find it, much the same as when you left it. But now with a battle.
Womp womp. And there's a turn order thing on the left. That's interesting.
That was there before.
And overworld one too?
It stays whichever map we go on.
Oh, never mind.
Widen me, Daddy.
Obnoxious.
And deep have that isolation in bumfuck Tennessee is really getting to you, huh?
The DM needs to make me
Keep we still need to go out for lunch, man.
Don't worry, it's in daytime. I made the map right again.
The next shopping trip.
Yarmir, you went on this, or you good?
Probably
Yeah, I'll get in on this.
next week or two.
Probably.
I just
probably
went,
next
but I
week.
went close. Not
Keep me posted.
okay.
I don't see Yarmir on the map yet.
I get thrown off every time.
Unfortunate.
Rip.
Alright.
I like this map. This is pretty.
This is a pretty map.
Where do you find these, Josh?
Google.
Oh, dude.
Cool tree area.
I literally Googled treehouse battle map.
If you look enough, the gromp right here.
If you like
Really?
it should have a source in the bottom right? Sliff battle maps?
Yep.
Oh, I'm too zoomed in to see that shit.
I thought you were joking. He said, "Where'd you get this map?" I'm like, "There's a credit in the bottom right."
No. I play like, let's see, what was I at? At like 100%. They're more than 100 then, because I
Yeah.
wasn't even seeing that before. I was playing probably like 130 or so.
As you guys approach this the tree again, very wary because you know that there could be enemies about. Motion catches your eye. Yarmir's actually. Well, whoever's got a good spot.
Me.
Me.
Yarmir's spot's shit, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I have 10 max.
Oh, Max, you're 10, baby.
Did you roll yet? Is it anywhere?
Oh,
I did
sorry.
not see it.
These guys flex their spots so that did roll.
My spot's good. No, my spot's good. Anybody roll a spot yet? Zach already rolled it, thankfully. He rolled it higher.
We both look. I don't see anything.
The way it looked, the way you made it sound was like.
I'm gonna be honest. I fully that you were handing free information to whoever had spot.
Yeah,
But
that's what I thought too.
the way you narrated that as a DM didn't feel real requesty of a role. It was more like whoever
Yeah.
has the highest spot, you see this. So that's
Yeah.
why no one
Yeah.
rolled because
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
that's
request
what I
you
thought
just.
too.
I'm gonna request you shut the fuck up.
you first.
Yep, as you guys see a blur of motion, and with your spot, you're able to quickly trace it and look at it more closely. Something up in the bows.
It's a bird. It's a plane.
Not good in the first place, because that's where your objective is. And as you're looking at it closely, you have the telltale signs of roots retreating. And even worse, as you look ahead, you can see that the foyer, the place that you were sleeping last night, appears to be overgrown with roots, flowers of some kind. They were not there yesterday.
We're gonna have to burn the tree.
The ominous door hangs there, closed, the one that was carved for giants. Would you like to go there and look inside the foyer? Basically, the exterior of the going on it.
We're burning the tree, right?
Are you
Go tell your still on this bitch.
are you saying are we going in, or are we gonna try and burn the tree?
Yeah, burn the tree.
Uh,
I don't know how much I like the idea of going up there.
I think the problem is you can't control the burn. So it could cause much bigger problems for us.
Sacrifices must be made.
in reality, the only real way we have to burn this tree would probably be using one of our phoenix waves.
Oh fuck! You could Phoenix wave the tree.
At least old fella flames
Oh, that's
aren't going to start it
That's
enough.
such a good option. Why don't we just Phoenix flame the top of this tree and just call it a day?
Roast the child.
Destroy the child.
I mean, we probably need to get into the bottom of the tree.
Child now.
The best way to do that would be getting in the bottom of the tree and
Crispy.
just going straight up, right?
Did Josh just say crispy?
He said wispy.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, we'd get into the bottom of the tree and just just cast it straight upwards, though.
I mean,
so
are we
so
trying to
we need
save the
to-
child?
I don't know.
That Phoenix. I mean,
I
I
mean,
was only half kidding until I realized we have a Phoenix wave.
in either case, we need to get into the tree. So you need
Do
to.
we? The Phoenix wave is how long?
Okay, we want to do it straight up the tree.
I mean, we could, or we could just shoot it at the top.
Yeah.
Okay, we're also talking about powerful druids. What happens when they just take this and run, pick the child up and leave?
I'm kind of questioning whether or
don't know
not
how
she
to
can
do it,
even see
though.
daylight.
Then
Like-
we just have to find the
Yeah, yeah.
child again.
Yeah. She could do it without the tree on fire. What do you want me doing? Because I can't keep up with you two. I can.
I think you're the one who
camp
needs to break the
on-
door.
Yeah. Oh, I mean,
So,
is it?
so you need to break the door for us to get in, then we can just have Phoenix waving up,
Alright, yeah, we
up
approach
the
the-
tree once we
approach
get
the
in.
door, Josh. The 5 turns
Yeah.
it'll take me to get there.
You all approach the door slowly,
Odor.
keeping an eye out on the various things going around. And as you get closer and closer, the roots seem to splay out, not threateningly or encroachingly like the other one was, but merely moving more and more. Until you get close to the door. And just as you're anticipating, maybe there'll be a bunch of roots that burst forth and, attack you or something, the door suddenly opens on, again, hinges, or pushed open by roots. And therein, you see a rather large white lotus. Again, humongous, person-sized. Just staring out from the door. And you're not sure if this is a trap or what's going on here, but there's just a large plant in the middle there. or at least some kind of white plant, you'd actually probably want Herbalist to identify it. T-Bav's character can probably get it off pretty quick.
Yeah, I'm gonna look. What is it?
Roll.
God, fucking damn it! Just fucking blow the tree up. I'm over it.
Flower pretty.
Let's see. Do you even fail on that? No. You do fail on that. It is a white flower of some kind. A common one that's name's escaping you right now. But it's enormous, bigger than normal.
Roll with disadvantage. Roll is retard.
Sure, I guess. I don't fucking know. Maybe Cameron would be the better one to do it, but...
He's not
7.
here.
That is a white poppy.
I don't know
Looks
what
like
that
some
means.
kind of poppy.
And T-Bav's character is a little bit slow on the uptake for what that could entail. Maybe Zach? Anybody have a lore? Anybody have a single point of lore between you?
No.
Anybody want to roll a lore at disadvantage for what poppies could mean? Cameron, they're useless without you.
Guess so.
8.
You guys know this one out of character.
Yeah, I do.
What's a white poppy mean, JP?
Oh, painkillers?
Oh no, not that. I mean, you're not wrong, but what's the meaning of a white flower poppy? I'll give you a hint. Between the crosses, row on row.
That
This is
didn't
where the
help
poppies
me
grow.
at all.
Is it a sign of we're asking for peace?
Yes, white poppy is typically associated with peace.
See, I don't know peace. There's 2 wolves inside of me.
That's bad.
Yeah.
The recommended number of wolves is 0.
You got that dog in you.
The doctors just don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah. So they want us to come up and talk to them.
Yeah, and I won't. light
Yes,
their
and
shit
the
on
feet
fire.
are floating. I cannot stress enough. Please do not do that.
No, Yarmir would absolutely be completely.
10 seconds without the moral person in the party. We just
Yeah, you immediately try to burn a child.
Technically, we haven't.
10 seconds without any of their skill checks or knowledges, they just immediately devolve into monkeys and start beating the nearest thing to death.
Yep.
Holy shit.
Nobody realized how much Raynor was the heart of the party until he left.
Yeah. I think that just means we
Set
go
the
up
jam
to
back.
talk to them. They ask for peace, and you still want to set the tree on fire?
Here's the thing. I don't think they necessarily want peace.
I think they want peace to do the ritual, and they're going to try and convince us to let them.
Yes. And we are going to tell them that we are going to stomp their genitals through their throats. Somehow. I don't know it off, but we'll medicine check it.
Maybe we hold this area and just wait for Cameron to get here.
So
I think that. I mean, we don't know they necessarily need to come down here to leave. I mean, actually, I think it's a safe assumption that they would need to come down here. So, yeah, I mean, we can just hold this area down here until Cameron comes, and then go up to speak to them.
Yeah.
Especially, we know that they probably need to come down this way, and they're asking for peace. We just wait. And keep an eye on what we can all the way up there from down here.
You guys
like
proceed
it.
to camp out as Cameron gets, info dumped on his side. I'm not going to flash back to him because I think this is the more interesting scene to end off on. But as you are continuing to wait down here, you would see the roots creep around the corner again where you'd seen them the first time, at the top of the tree or near the upper boughs. Before, more roots would creep around up there, and you can see the faint outline of a figure moving up there. difficult to tell at this distance, even with your 29, but it definitely appears humanoid up high, and then the bottom fades into the tree. And as you're sitting there staring down, or staring up, you can tell that they are also staring down at you from great distance. Before, you could see them pick something out of their pocket, who knows, and very slowly reach their arm out and let go. Something small starts dropping down to earth in your general vicinity, although not on top of you. As near the gate, something would land, about the size of an acorn, which would just sit there. The figure would sit there, staring, just looking at you, clearly in line of sight, just looking at you, seeing how you'd react to this.
I'm gonna go up and take a look at it.
No. I ghost hand and pick it up.
The rhino trudges forward slowly, reaches out his hand, another hand just comes out of it, again revealing something that you never knew the rhino could do. And then, the acorn-sized object indeed appears to be an acorn. As you look it over, scrawled in broken, common, it appears to be a two-word command. One, come.
They're asking one of us to go up.
Yeah, and the one is going to be a phoenix as it climbs into the sky. And
It's gonna be Quaylen.
I'm going up. And
I do not think this is wise. But
I'll go up. We'll
He
have
can literally jump out of
fall
the tree
cannot
and be
harm
fine.
you. Yeah, I was going to say that the rhino says the fall cannot harm you.
Listen,
Yeah.
if they thought they had a chance, they would have fought us in that cave. They knew the terrain better than us. They had traps set up and an extra bear to help them in combat. Oh, never mind. I'm not there.
I will scribble real quick to JP because I'm not sure if exactly about hearing. And essentially just write to him real quick of if you see me falling and I yell fire, use the Phoenix Wave up. And I tell JP because he's the one who can get under the tree, send it up, and run out. Whereas the rhino.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I know.
Okay.
yeah. So that's my signal, and I write that to him,
All right, that's the plan.
and so obviously they'll know something's going on if I yell fire as I'm going down, but I might just jump down normally. So I want to have that keyword to make sure for you to make sure me jumping down that's not the keyword. So
As
okay.
you are talking amongst yourselves, the rhino would see another acorn fall.
I'll mage hand it over.
Before the other note would say, I'm alone.
I don't believe you, but one's going up anyway.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter.
You don't think they can hear you from this distance, but you comment to yourself anyway.
Yeah, I'm talking to the group, not.
Yeah. I'll head up.
You go into the doorway, past the white poppy, which, as you go past, you can see the whole area is covered in these vines and flowers. It would be pretty if the situation wasn't so tense. Oh, the bot stopped playing the cool music. Doesn't like the repeat command tonight. And as you're going up, the flowers seem to bloom around you, all of them continuing to be white poppies. You're not sure if this is supposed to be like a grand entrance for you, or if, that's just kind of what's going on here, but whatever is going on is probably the work of whatever that lady is up high, the cousin tree. As you get to the landing, the one that's broken, that you had to make a wide jump across, and as you prepare to, make that same leaping jump to a nearby bough, you would suddenly hear and feel a bit of creaking behind you, as you see Several stairs of wood just jut out from the side of the tree, leading up towards the front of the bow, towards her. Would you like to take the stairs?
Yes, please.
You tentatively take the stairs, still thinking about, this is an enemy, before you realize that,
Be confident.
If you fall, you're fine anyway, so whatever. As you keep on going up the stairs as they appear in front of you one by one, the tree creaking each time it does so. As you go up and around, and the rest of the party, Yaramir, from your perspective, you can see, you basically had to climb up with your claws before, but now the bunny just, gets to walk around the tree, ascending it.
Pussy.
Until, finally, you're at the bow level.
No, bunny.
Where all of these things, basically lead you up to. And you can see at the edge of this, long branch you're standing on, the lady that had been dropping acorns on you and discussing these things, who is indeed alone, at least alone in this position. You're not sure if the other ones are inside, and maybe that's why she didn't want you to go there. But very much, this would be a one-on-one situation if you were to attack now on this bow. As you see, a rather peculiar-looking person. A person that you describe as neither human nor fey, but something perhaps in between.
Sorry, I didn't mean to hit my mic.
As she sits there, crouched, at the edge of the tree. Legs of wood. The rest of it, very clearly human.
Smash.
Smash.
How'd I know that was coming?
I could fix her.
She's really good at handling wood, clearly.
As legs seem to be supported, only maintained by these weird roots. Carved what looks to be something that's jade-like or maybe just green. As she stares back at you impassively. Before, the roots around her legs would kind of curl and make the path around you a little bit wider for more comfort. Before, she would call out in a soothing tone, saying, "There is much we must atone for, I believe. The others will be here shortly. We deserve an explanation before they get here and make things complicated."
I'll give her a nod and ask,
Are you approaching? She made the path
Yeah.
wider, yeah.
Yeah.
As you sit down and crouch or do whatever next to her. You can be standing up, I don't really care.
Yeah.
As you look around at the encompassing view around here, made all the more pretty by all the flowers that she seems to be kind of throwing out, and you're not sure if she's doing that on purpose or if that's just, something that happens around her, but after you get situated up here, she would say, "Do you want to begin with questions or me to begin with explanation?"
We'll give a moment of thought, and I'm sure your explanation will answer some questions, so we'll start there.
Then I shall start from the beginning, or at least the beginning of this tale. And so she does. But that'll be a tale for next session.
Go fuck yourself.
Fuck you.
Unless Zach is able to push on. I
I'm
think,
the one.
yeah. And JP.
I'm just fucking...
Bonus session Saturday?
No, 30 minutes, go.
Zach, are you okay with 30 minutes?
Yeah.
You don't sound like you're very okay by 30 minutes. Are you
It's-
sure?
It's fine.
Yeah.
We'll save
Yeah,
it for-
I'm good.
Okay.
No, I'm good. I'd stay up watching football anyway.
I'll sacrifice sleep for a day.
As she would begin by saying, "This tale begins of land far, far north of here. A place where it snows most time of the year round. I wasn't there for the first part of it, and I've only heard it secondhand, but I know stories like it all too well. A child was born. One not of this world, and not of another. Like I, strange in appearance. We are kin of sorts, although she is more pure than I. But that's a little bit off topic. A child was born, and, as is custom in that area, being neither of this world nor the other, was abandoned, only to be picked up, thankfully, by people who recognized what they were. In common tongue, you might call them devil children. Ones whose power exceeds their body. They would surely die and surely bring misfortune, should they be let to grow up. Die if they don't receive treatment and become too much power for them to control should they do receive treatment. She would pause and make sure that you're understanding the rough layout thus far. Before she would get out of her crouching position and lay her legs over the edge of the tree, the edge of the bough, that is, letting them freely swing, as she would say. She was found by two druids, powerful in their own right. Well, I guess I would say found is not quite right. They were seeking out such things. Because they had designs. Designs that I would not come to learn of until much later after I got roped into it, but that's jumping ahead in the story again. They were looking for such a child to treat in a way that would be healthy for it and useful to themselves. These two druids, a couple that were unable to have their own children, nevertheless were faithful devotees and were looking for a child to call their own. And so, they did raise the child with love and care, ensuring that they did not perish to their own power. That was merely the first step, though, and where I got involved. Those two worship a particular sect of the moon goddess, and as you might tell, I worship the trees. We were acquaintances at first, but they persuaded me to get involved for the good of all druiddom. This child, you see, is special. As I said, they have kinship with I, and I don't know how many people you know, but not many of them have pale skin and red eyes and red hair, right?
Give it a nod.
That would be because, well, how do I say this without sounding crazy? There are... How... I'll say it straight and then explain. Are you ready?
I'll nod.
She is quite literally a child of the moon. A Lunarian.
What the fuck?
Every so often, Fae spirits get lost. And as I said, her nature is mixed, not normal. I, by descent, am a partially blooded Fae. She by some other means. A means which gave her the wrong soul in a normal mortal body. Now, to explain my heritage so I can explain more about hers. I am a... How do I describe this? Again, I will come out straight and lay the explanations later, but my father was a very powerful druid, and my mother was a demigoddess. one of Saloon's very own. Some call me an elemental spirit, but I'm weaker than they, and much more mortal. I, too, am Lunarian by blood. Although, not quite the same way that they are trying to make her. With that out of the way as a pretext, I shall go back to the story if you don't mind.
I'll nod.
They were raising her and treating her as one of their own, as indeed, for all intents and purposes, it was the closest to their own they'd ever get. And it was at that time that I was attracted to her, given her nature, and perhaps thinking that it could have been one of my own kin. I was seeing what her soul was, rather than what her form was at the time. That's how I sought her out. And when those two worshippers of Saloon saw me, oh, I guess I should explain again. My father was a druid of Arborus, which is where I take after this, so while I am Lunarian-blooded, I am a worshipper of Arborus. Peculiar, I know, but that's a digression. Back to her story. They were curious about me and what I was, and had some inclination of these higher beings. And as a part of their efforts, they were doing their best to make the child survive. What I could tell, the child would likely not make it to adulthood, at least without intervention. And so they pleaded with me to use my knowledge and power to intercede. And so I did. I asked around for any of the Daughters of the Moon who might know more. And some said that these spirits, should they be given time to grow in temper, might survive despite the odds. The normal way. But others spoke of a different way. A way to become true to their nature, rather than to allow their mortal self to grow to contain the vessel, or rather contain the spirit and let the vessel contain the spirit, to instead change the vessel to become the spirit. I regret telling him of this because I did not look deeply enough into what it entailed before I informed the couple. I merely told them that, should they find a suitable spirit compatible with this child, they may be able to make it survive and, indeed, become like they are. The couple was obviously overjoyed and started looking right away, and I went about my business for, well, years. I may not look it, but I'm quite old. And when I came back, the child was young. Not a child anymore, but whatever is between a child and a teenager. She would kind of hand wave as if it's not much importance to her. She definitely gives off the not immortal vibe.
Yeah.
Before she would say, and they said that they had found a suitable spot. As you could imagine, it is this spot, but they had notioned that there was indeed something there of the moon that was in remission, not using its power and maintaining the grove. And I thought that this would be an appropriate spot, then, for them to go to seek out this power. I made arrangements for them to move south, as I too was curious to perhaps gain a new sibling and to figure out what the problem here was with these souls and, well, if any of them could be salvaged. You could call it a passion project, or really, for me, more of a passing curiosity. However, they knew more than I did, which is not a common occurrence for mortals to pull over on me. The ritual in question was not simply a substitution. It was an eclipse. They are attempting something that ought not be tried. However, I promise them, and my word is good, even if I promise something bad. That child will not be that child anymore, should they succeed. Already, they forget their memories, and the parents don't seem to notice. They're too busy. They've lost sight of them, I think. The child will become like me, but forget that they were a child. I don't know if the parents know this and already hardened their hearts for it, or if they are simply caught up in their own ambition. But, again, call this a simple passing muse of mine to tell somebody else. Maybe I have a conscience after all and needed to inform somebody who could do something about it. Somebody who's not bound by code. But, as, well, rough as an explanation that is what's going on here. They are making one's nature the nature of another. Eclipsing, as it is. And by the end of this, there shall be another, well, creature like an elemental spirit. Or, alternatively, there shall be a child. Perhaps short-lived, but a child nonetheless. With that, she would stop kicking her legs over the edge. Before she would look over at you, well, over you directly for basically the first time since you started this monologue, and would look at you with a passing curiosity that kind of pierces you in a way that is a little bit unnerving, considering that, given that she's, like, elemental spirit tier, this is not good. You should not be in melee range of her. If she is hostile.
Yeah.
But would not look at you with hostile intent, but would simply look at you to see your reaction to all of this so far. And you can tell that she is looking at you discerningly.
Yeah, I'm trying to piece together all of this in my mind because, obviously we came here thinking we were going to take on all three, and now hearing one, she's probably way more powerful than any of us, makes me more off edge a little because, obviously if she would kill me, she could. And so, but she wants this conversation. It seems like she's asking for my help or asking for our help in this regard because she is not one to go out of her to stop her word. I guess if you're saying she's sense motivating,
Where do you fall in this, I guess? Because she put the two options there of let the eclipse go through or let the child be a child. That's where she was going with it more. But
yeah.
if you were saying that you're still just trying to take it in, that could also be a valid response.
I'm trying to take it in, but also I'm leaning towards like that this should be stopped, but obviously I don't want to do anything to wrong her because I know she's more powerful than any of us, which we were not expecting.
Oh, so you guys don't want to just hit her with a Phoenix Flame anymore? It's
do.
crazy.
I mean, we still can. Who knows what'll happen?
If it's red, it's dead.
Yeah, so as she's looking at me and I'll essentially say kind of what I'm thinking of. We came here hearing a werewolf problem, thinking we just take on some werewolves, and it's become much, much deeper than that. Where I hear, or I believe I'm hearing your kind of plea for our help in this. I understand you have your word. Would you like more on how I'm kind of comprehending this, or may I ask some questions first?
She would consider your response before saying, yeah, I suppose you're right, I am asking for your help. Although, I hadn't really thought of it at that angle. I am bound here to protect and nurture the child. I'm not going to go out of my way to attack you unless you attack me. And at the same time, I'm not going to go out of my way to attack them. But, yes, I have misgivings about this arrangement, and if you could clear the air, or... well... She would pause before saying, I suppose I'm concerned about what I've done, what I've allowed to happen. I think it would be a great shame if they were just using this child as a tool the whole time and I was unable to see that.
Or as you
But-
mentioned, maybe it eventually turned into that without anyone noticing.
Yes, and maybe if they see that, they'll stop it on their own, or if that is truly how it is, then I have to abide, and perhaps you might not.
We can act outside of your word through your knowledge, but
Yes, which is why I wanted to call you up here. But if you have questions, feel free.
how do the werewolves play into all of this?
The ritual they are taking. The eclipse. It requires some conditions to be met. The werewolves are merely a way to activate this, well, sleeping forest for the ritual. This place, the dryad that rests underneath here, used to be a handmaiden of my grandmother, Saloon. She reacts to these sorts of things, naturally, and the form of werewolf curse going on. The imperfect one. It steals. Doesn't synergize. It is a crude way to enact their plan. Nothing more, nothing less. I doubt
Well,
that
they-
they intended to make it go out of control like it has, though. I don't think they wanted it to be a loud affair and attract people like yourselves.
Has it done what it's needed, or will
The
They
child
need all-
is progressing, and, well, I would say much more, and it will become irreversible. It'll still take a while for the child to fully come into their own, but once the process is started, it's a matter of time before it's fully eclipsed and she becomes, well, something else. The tipping point is near. The forest has awakened and she is sipping on the power. Once you tilt the glass so far, the contents will pour out.
Yeah. We've slowed the werewolf side of things at the very least, but it's like that was just to start this, and stopping that isn't gonna do what's needed to stop even further in the ritual that will happen soon.
She would nod lightly as she would say, "You could perhaps slow down its advance. I can tell that you've already done so, disrupting some of the rituals elsewhere. You've bought time, perhaps a moon, to think it over. But I would say that the best shot you have now is to reverse it early, but you've done enough, I think, to wait a month if you are so inclined."
Is she still in danger of dying? I guess has that been explained? Maybe I missed it, Zach.
Yeah, this ritual, my understanding is this ritual is either for her to eclipse another person to survive.
The Dryad, I think.
Yeah, or if she goes without the ritual, there's still a chance she will live, but there's still a chance she will die.
Out of character, this is the exact same condition Agnes had.
Yeah. I was thinking
Who's on
it-
this?
I was thinking exactly that. Like legendary soul sickness was what came to mind.
So kill a child and save a fading Dryad, or let the
Oh, we
fading
d-
Dryad get eaten. And
We don't need to kill the child. We need to stop the ritual. The
no,
child.
but it's basically killing the child.
We can beat these druids. This, like,
Well, and
So
let me finish this conversation.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
can
yeah, sorry.
this stuff we can talk about over the next week. I'll mention to her that we actually have, or one of our party members. We're more involved in this than I'm letting on off the bat. We have met this child already, or one of our party members has. last night. Additionally, we were sent here to help. We were sent here by the Dryad of this forest to help stop the power from being zapped. We had this sort of this dream trance that we're sent into to be in the grove with the elder Dryad in some manner. It was a dream state.
Doesn't
But
surprise me. I mean, Nyx's mother, my great-grandmother, is known for dreams as well. That a dryad of, well, the moon would reach out in a dream to you all doesn't surprise me. Although, I guess the health of the grove is something I hadn't considered. That could be something at risk, especially if whatever
Grove's
emerges...
getting...
Whatever emerges out the other side of the eclipse is maybe not as keen for maintaining it as the Dryad was.
yeah, that was the worry of the powers being drained and the grove is drying up.
In fact, I would give better than average odds that they would want to wander, being in a body that didn't allow them to before this point.
Yeah. While I speaking for the rest of my party here, we came with a mission to help prevent that, and it seems you, while we'll continue and help this couple, are okay with the ritual being prevented, especially if I leave this kind of in the air. This next part in the air is a question: if the child is left in your care or left fine.
I am to ensure the child does not die, and yes, I was aware that she had a visitor last night, but I didn't sense any ill intent.
That is correct.
Good thing I didn't go to stabbing.
Refer to the meme again.
Yeah. I speaking for my party, as mentioned, we were sent here to stop this, and since there's a way to stop this with the child staying alive, I think there's nothing to state at all that we are adversaries, and if anything, by your inclination of potentially asking for help, that you might have gone a little too far with this but are keeping your word. It seems almost as if we're on the same side or you lean towards our side of preventing this ritual from happening.
I suppose I just want to make sure that this is the way people want things to go. If the child was tricked into this and, well, the parents didn't notice or didn't care, I would say that that's something I don't want to abide by. And contrarily, if this is what the child wants and the parents are trying to sacrifice everything they've ever known for it, then you have to weigh the good of the grove versus the good of, you know, what good is a grove like this with management and whatnot versus the good of somebody getting to live that's potentially able to do much more. They'll live quite a long time like I, and if, not to be conceited, but if they live anything like I think they'll make up for it in the long run.
If I'm to understand, too, there's a chance she might live like you even without the ritual.
Not in the same way. She would be immortal, just a very powerful one.
We may have some... I think, for the sake of, again, speaking for my party, we would...
There's definitely some power level discrepancies that she's not getting, because she's post-12.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, elemental spirits are 13+.
I wonder when I was thinking, like, man, I'm picturing someone 12 more or more.
Well,
Let's Phoenix waiver.
yeah. Yeah, I'll be...
Child of a demigod and a powerful druid. She's rocking. Like,
Yeah, she's the great-grandchild of literally like, yeah.
I'm not surprised about her power level. I was the one who's like, man, these characters seem like uber powerful.
Only
Well,
one
these
of
are
them, and just
only
the one
one of
that's
the
on
three.
guard duty.
Yeah. I'll say I think.
Just think, you were already inside of her yesterday, Cameron. You scored.
Nice.
I
There
think
goes your powers, broke chastity.
we.
Actually, part of the divine is to fuck.
I think we have a desire to stop the ritual. So, but we also have an old druid manuscript of this area that speaks to things here that led us to the Elder Dryad, as well as some other things that may be of assistance for you to continue, and potentially what we might be able to do to help with this Moonchild. We'd want to assist even after this.
Yeah. So just to make her position clear, she doesn't necessarily care the direction you take it for Grove versus Child. She just wants to clear the air because she gets bad feeling in the pit of her stomach that there's some manipulation going on.
And I'm telling her, we want to stop this ritual, but we're going to help you after. And essentially, if you're saying they're coming here, it's probably best we try and
Yes. And for your information, without a proper guardian, I don't believe the child has good odds of surviving, even if you do interrupt the ritual. So, if you can keep their parents alive, that's preferable. If not, you would need to figure out a new suitable guardian. Perhaps the Elder Dryad could, and I don't think I am meant for that kind of role myself, but perhaps I could ask around for such a person.
Yeah, we might be able to get in contact with the Elder Dryad again, more so the Elder Dryad to us, but we might have the ability to, and you can ask around. We'll find something suitable after this. Assuming,
Perhaps I'm just being idealistic, which is, trust me, a large problem for people like me. But I would love if this was all just a large misunderstanding.
What does she think they're the
I need to get to
trying
bed.
do?
In that case.
Yeah.
Good night.
I think our best bet I think we need to stop them. I think we have the connection to Elder Dryad, so we can find some other person to have a guardian for this child. And probably with other two.
Yeah, I'm of a different mind.
Like what?
Well, so I don't put the Grove above the child because the Grove is.
I'm throwing options to her right now. And she
is not interested in the material.
She doesn't
content.
care.
Yeah.
I meant as a group, as us discussing, not talking to her. Sorry.
So I'll just mention to her, and just my final question for her, unless she had anything else for me, would be, what can you tell us about these two if we're going to try and stop them? And assumably that's going to be in a more combative manner, is my assumption.
Basically, what you could have assumed out of character already. They are very powerful. Guardian of the Forest, Fang, and Guardian of the Forest Hide. Of your caliber or slightly above. And that they are fairly well attuned and decked out into numerous druidic pieces.
Can't be that strong. Those sheets aren't even built yet.
Maybe they are now.
Josh?
Nothing. Check the VOD.
I know what he says. I just don't know if Josh wants me to tell you what he said.
Yes, they are.
Neat.
Yeah, I mean,
And that, it's very powerful and druidic to be mindful of what they can do, and especially should you fight them during the moon. They, I'd imagine, are, after they come here, if you don't get rid of them now, one way or another, they will come back as wolves. And then you will have a serious fight in your hand.
I think that is our understanding. Us trying to get rid of them now, rather than waiting for that potential. Especially if, as you mentioned, they're on their way here, we can manage that then.
Yeah. On that note, I shall ensure that, well, the child is kept safe of all these things. Although I'd prefer if you would refrain from damaging the tree. It is inconvenient to have to put out fires, and it's nice being able to move around freely like this. It's not often I get to play around on trees this large.
I'll give her a nod and say thank you. I'm sure you'll see what very well may happen.
Yes. With that, she would stand up and stretch, and as she does so, her legs basically, you can tell her legs are like totally atrophied. You're not sure if there's like a problem there or if she just uses, limbs, tree stuff instead of legs. But there are like normal legs inside whatever the hell's going on down there.
Camille?
Okay.
Basically, but like if Camille didn't have like, leg blades, but instead like actually just had, legs that had, those things stapled in. Didn't chop off from the knee down, but like you can see in her armor too.
Yeah, that's the impression I was getting from looking at it.
This is the 2.0 of the D&D wheelchair. The D&D crazy prosthetic of my legs are just a living tree. Get fucked.
Yeah.
Never mind. Not on video, feds.
Sorry, I think we can all infer where you were going.
I'm surprised you didn't make that comment when Josh was talking about I don't often get to move around in trees this big.
No, that different line of thinking, but I like where you're going.
Yeah, but she would stand up and stretch and would say, and I thank you for listening to my complaints. I don't have any people I can do that to, and it's nice to talk to mortals because they're so short-lived that their gossip doesn't get along very far.
I'll nod and take it as a compliment. Thank you for conversing with us, and look forward to potentially continuing forward with this, finding a guardian with you, and assume we survive. That's my hope, at least. I live another day, this mortal.
Yes. Before she would begin moving along, and the stairs would still be in the same spot that as you walked up it, and for her part, she's kind of, you can consider almost Spider-Manning between each bough of the tree. You thought before from the ground she was jumping, but no, like, she's basically just, like, extended legging.
Go gadget wood leg. Old
As
peg leg.
she goes up higher and higher back to the room of the Moonchild. Leaving you here on this bough to either go down the legs, or go down the stairs with your legs, or to take the fall with your feet.
Don't do the fall. You told us to get ready for a fight and blow the tree up if you jumped.
No, he
No,
said yell fire.
I said if I do that with a keyword, I'll take the fun way down without a keyword.
Yep, as you rather quickly jump down, and as you do so, you can see a couple of surprisingly vines attempting to race out and grab you, which you dodge because you can. Before you land safely on the ground, before you see the strange dryad-esque creature kind of staring down at you from halfway down the tree, clearly attempting to come back to grab you. Before you can see them burst out in laughter as you hit the ground fine, and without saying another word, would simply go back to where they were headed before. That is a terrifying speed. You would not... They may have you matched.
Damn.
They just went to the top of the tree, and then went back down, almost to catch you, and then went back up. You do not want to fight this person in a tree.
No. We don't want to fight this person.
Period. Yeah.
Period. End of story. The end.
If it helps you put perspective on her power level, she's like in the tall man territory. So she's not quite
Yeah.
a mental spirit, but she's post 10 or post 12.
Yeah.
Who's the tall man?
Oh boy, let's
Don't
end
ask.
session.
No. No.
I think we should have Austin explain this.
No.
I will take a write-up through Facebook or a different sit-down
That
because I
campaign
really
still
need to
needs be
sleep
spoken
before
of.
work.
You know what's funny about this? Cameron has spoilers about the tall man because Josh told him and I while you guys were going through this, and he still forgot.
I don't remember this at all.
But yeah, you
Maybe
reach the
I just know
ground.
it by a different name.
Yeah,
The Eternal.
Stop.
No, don't know.
You reach the ground and have a rather calm look on your face compared to what the party was expecting when you leapt down, because Yaromir has the fire thing clutched, but just not firing. Before, you now have a time to give the party your side of the story and explain what's going on from here. And with that, we can really end session for the extendo time. So, end session.